Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, those who have still stuck around. Let's see, we got a whole bunch of mods, so now I can actually separate who's mods versus who's actually watching. Thank you, Looney. Looney is stuck around so much that I've just decided to go ahead and make him a VIP.
Looney's the fucking man.
Yeah, thank you very
Or
much
woman.
for lurking. He's a dude, as far as I'm aware. Not to assume his gender. Please, Twitch,
He can
be
be
nice to
anything
me.
he wants to be, or she, or they.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Angel of Light, Cache Bear. That sounds like a bot. Commander Root is definitely a bot. Freddy bot. Wow, I wonder if that's a bot. Increed J Wuling, Justice Mom, Lurks, V&K, Virgo Pros. Thank you everybody for watching and joining us tonight. Let me pull up my notes. Thank you Gravity 2DX from the previous session for throwing 100 weird bits our way. You get
Gravity.
plus 5 weird bits for that. Speaking of weird bits, you guys should check that. You can either check it on the little Streamlabs or Stream Avatars extension below on our Twitch page, which I moved there now instead of on the actual streams. You guys can access it when we're not streaming, or you can just go check out on the actual page that we have for Streamlabs at all. There's a link down on our description down below on our Twitch. But check how many you have, because a lot of people have quite a few points, and you definitely want to use those for cool stuff like buying inspiration for the players, stuff like that. For those of you playing around with the stream avatars, I'll punch in extension one more time, and you guys can play with that as we do our roleplay thing. We did a poll. And this week we added elves. We finished our poll from the previous week, so skeletons are now in there. You see a bunch of skeletons walking around. And as far as I've been told, it looks like this past week's poll for the elementals, the fire elemental pulled out on top.
Boo.
So by next week we'll have a fire elemental. This week's poll, which instead of doing it between Twitch and our stream, we're just doing a Twitch poll, or a Twitter poll, I should say. Go over to our Twitter page. That's God_mode. It's live now. It's fake creatures, so you can choose from a pixie, unicorn, sprite, or fairy dragon. Choose one of those. By the end of next week, we'll announce the winner, and we'll add that in the next week.
Yeah.
Also, thank you, Queen Gorebeard, for subscribing. That's very nice of you. Also, we're at 93 followers. Follow. Even if you don't watch, maybe just follow us. You get a chance to enter to win this 5th edition box starter set. You want that shit. You need that shit. You probably don't, but you should have that shit. And follow us. Inspiration. You guys need some inspiration. Now that I'm done with my Twitch spiel. Let's
Give me that.
pull up this standard inspiration. You guys go ahead and grab you one of those cards there.
Give me that shit. Ghost fire. Neat. I'll take it.
And Kyle, whenever you pop back into the Roll20, go ahead and draw one of those cards. And then,
He's
did
dead.
he? Okay, he's dead. Never mind. We're gonna delete his character. Why don't we all roll some dice to see who wants to give the recap?
Wait, hold on.
What?
I
Oh,
feel
yes.
I feel like.
Oh.
I feel like. Okay, Kyle's back. I was about to say. I feel like he made up about that internet thing because he didn't.
Kyle
want
is
to roll.
immune from last week either
I'm
way.
immune anyways.
Oh.
Get out of here.
Hey, I think you should roll though, just to see if.
Yeah, roll.
Don't
Kyle.
do it. I've
I
done
think
that.
you
Yeah.
should-
Do it.
You have a 19 out of 20 chance.
Yeah. Guess
Not
what I
to
get? Guess what I get?
All right. I'll do the recap, but Kyle, roll anyway, because I'm dying to. No, you can't do this to me. Fuck you. I'll just wait and see what the first thing you roll is.
Alright, here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's fine. Last week we returned to Neogokyo, did a small amount of shopping before regrouping with the Meister Minds. They wanted to see if they could figure out what was wrong with Kui directly, but I don't think we felt very comfortable with them rooting around in Kui's systems. So we implored them to find us a third party that could go in and figure out why she's glitching, some sort of AI specialist, hopefully. And that should take them a couple of days, but in the meantime, we're being stalked by a steel predator, which are terrible metal jaguar things that the organized crime syndicates around here use to hunt down and assassinate people, so that's cool. We got a wheelchair for Alderman's granddaughter, and just after we finished shopping, we managed to swing by Decker's old place and found that surprisingly he was there. Definitely didn't expect to see that, but here he is in the flesh. Did I miss anything?
No, that's a pretty succinct recap as far as I'm concerned. Ace up, you find a weird bit hidden in your pockets.
Whoa, they just keep multiplying, it seems like. 28.
This is unfortunate for Slim since he loves his character, but that's what you get for being late. So yes, you guys let the monkey get some heart surgery. You trolled the ever-loving shit out of him.
Oh, how could I forget the heart surgery, the funniest part of the whole session.
And he passed
Made a
out.
terrible mistake.
You guys left him to recoup for probably an extra 20 or so hours, and in the meantime, you, as Luke mentioned, grabbed a wheelchair and headed towards Decker's place. Unsure if you would find him there or not, but you actually did run into him as you came across his office, where you had come to previously at the beginning of this whole season, but he wasn't there because he was still at Halcyon. So with that, let's see here. Decker has stepped out from his office to greet you all, hearing the sounds of an offering of some magicigs. He has a similar pistol in hand to Rink has, and you guys notice him, as I mentioned previously, sort of like slipping it back in between himself and his belt, at his backside underneath his long overcoat. He looks up and down, seeing you all, kind of noticing some of the new figures here. Jashini, Hush, who he raises an eyebrow at, seeing that she does not have her mask anymore. Queen Gorebeard has redeemed an inspiration point for me. I don't know if that'll count or not. Maybe it will, since she's not a player anymore. And a mechanical bat, I'm assuming just kind of hanging out on Chemo's shoulder, probably.
Mm-hmm.
He
actually tucked under like one of the folds in my shirt. So
okay.
Oh.
Okay. Is it where you raise your arm up and it's like hanging out from underneath it?
yeah, it's kind of like the sales guy from Resident Evil 4. What are you buying?
Yeah.
I just swing open my coat and there's a little mechanical bat.
All right, cool.
fucking Slim thought we were playing at the normal time, despite you mentioning several times that we were starting at around hour.
Are you
I
serious?
try to do my best.
I mean, I don't think there's anything else you could have done.
I needed the last reminder, to be fair.
Same. Jaso had to text me.
Well,
This is all I do all week, so.
at any rate, I take the time to communicate to Hush that it's because of a quest that this man gave us that Father has wings now. He's a good guy.
Decker kind of goes to each of you and gives you a handshake, the main members of the Wyld Tycoons, and then sort of extends a hand towards you, Chemo, and says, you must be a traveler with this group.
And my name's Kimo.
Nice to meet you, Chemo. Name's Decker, he says. he turns back to you guys. So, what brings you all here? Clearly trying to hunt me down.
They didn't expect you to be here, really.
Indeed, we needed a place to lay low for a bit. We've got a steel predator on our tails.
A steel predator.
Yeah, an assassin bot of some sort. It seemed to be just looking at us, but can't be too careful. Although, now that you're here, that's actually really, really great, because, I mean, we need to find some people here in Neogokyo, and I can't imagine a better fellow to help us find them.
Interesting. Well, I've been here for a few days now. I was just kind of checking in and out of my offices here and there. He pushes the door open and you guys are able to peer inside. It's very subtly lit, as if for him to go through the room without really anyone noticing that he's actually there. Looks like somebody ransacked my place while I was out, but either they found what they wanted in here or they're looking for me, in which case luckily they didn't find me. Either way, there's a little place down underneath the offices here that we could talk a little bit more of a private atmosphere.
That sounds perfect.
He kind of just extends a hand back towards the stairs. I'm assuming we didn't cover it last week, but we'll just assume that you guys left the large, very bulky, and probably not something that anyone's going to easily steal wheelchair at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah.
It's right this way, he says as he begins to head with you guys towards the stairs. You all follow him. Is there anything you want to talk about on the stairs on the way down, or?
Yes. What did you find anything out about those golden guts?
I've done a little bit of digging, but mostly I've just been watching over myself and making sure that nothing bad happens to either me or Hark that you met a while back. I haven't found too much out exactly, but I need to do a bit more digging. For now, I was just heading back to home base and seeing exactly what has transpired since I left. It's been quite a few months since I've come back home.
Yeah.
Well, it's our first time coming back as well. It seems like, for the most part, not much has changed.
Seems to be that way, at least on the surface. He has a small, white, slightly brownish tinted, what looks like thin cigar or cigarette chemo in his mouth that is lit as he heads down the stairs. And as he reaches the bottom along with you guys, one of you, I'm sure, just kind of getting behind the metal wheelchair and pushing it into along with you.
Yeah.
He heads to an interesting area, a wall that you now see has a crease in it, similar to like a door, but doesn't seem to have any handles or anything on it. He rifles through one of his coat pockets and pulls out an interesting looking card. On it, you guys see a glowing silhouette or outline of what looks to be some type of like mug or maybe some type of like crudely drawn alcoholic drink. And he presses it against the door. It flashes, and you guys watch as the door shifts back just an inch or two and then to the side. Down the small set of stairs, you guys watch as it descends into a actually relatively cozy looking interior of some type of lounge.
Oh, very, very nice.
Ooh, this is nice.
There's a few folks here in the very dimly lit area. They seem to be talking with one another in relative hushed voices and enjoying some drinks. At the far end, on one of the sides, rather, you see a bar as well as what looks to be what you assume is either humanoid or genius barkeep, dressed, formally like any bartender would, rubbing a glass out, flipping it around, and then grabbing another to fill for one of the patrons nearby. Decker waves you all in as he steps down the stairs and brings you over to one of the empty tables that has enough seating for some of you to gather and sit. There's quite a few of you in tow, so you guys end up probably pulling up a couple of extra chairs to seat everyone here in the party, since along with the followers, there's quite a few folks here.
Is it wheelchair accessible, Jason?
You guys, you're able to work the chair inside of the lounge, but leave it at the top of the stairs.
Oh, yeah, I typed it in chat, but just to make it clear, we're not going to have Recon for anything involving Decker. Like, that's dumb and we wouldn't do it.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's not implicate ourselves, shall we?
You all head down these stairs, and let's see here. Take a seat. You can still hear the subtle sound of the rain outside, but largely things are pretty quiet in here. It seems to be sort of like a basement level, just nice sort of hidden bar tavern here, a little lounge area. You see a couple what look to be these Newman figures, as well as just a couple other different various races. You all take your seats, and there's a couple menus that are lined on the table should you guys want to peruse any of the drinks here. There's plenty of ciders and rums, wines. They all go for like a couple SP a piece, so if there's anything in particular that you guys want, otherwise you can just order some drinks or just talk as you sit.
What are you drinking, Decker?
Decker says he kind of peruses the menu with a quick flitter of his eye, and then looks back up and says, well, let's see what exactly the type of information you guys are looking to get, and that'll depend on how much I need to end up ordering a drink.
Very, very good, very good. Well, I look to the rest of the group. I guess I'll just tell him then. We are looking for a very specific person, and actually, I could draw her for you. A woman that may or may not, and probably doesn't go by the name Leah. I know that's not a lot to go off of, but she has a connection with the organization known as the 10th Pit. I'm afraid I can't give you much more information other than that, but Jason, as a Kinku, I have advantage to do any check to replicate something.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume that would apply for like drawing someone from memory.
I think that makes sense. Yes.
I'll try to sketch her face as closely as I can on a scrap of paper.
Okay, yeah, Decker mentions that he would like to see, whatever you can to tie it to a person. He also says, I've heard whispers of this 10th Pit. Heard they go by another name, typically. What do you guys know about these people? You had a lot of dealings with them in the past?
Well, yes. They give us information and they pop out. They can make a portal to their place wherever we go on different planets. They are very professional. Other than that, I don't think we know too much about them.
Purveyors of knowledge, then, I take it.
Yes.
Well, seems like a good asset for you guys to have, seeing as how you generally tend to stick your noses in all types of business and may make having certain ties info pretty fruitful for you all.
Indeed, and to be perfectly honest, they asked us to find this woman specifically. Although I can't say what for. I mean, I literally can't say because I don't know precisely what it is they intend to do with that information.
Decker waits as you finish up your sketch.
What kind of check should I make on this, Jason?
Give me a give me like give me just like a D20 with your modifier.
Oh, okay.
And with advantage because you're
Oh,
kind of trained in mimicking this type of stuff.
it's a 24. Aesop's like, wait, let me get the cross hatching. Just we are. There we are.
Decker pulls the paper up as he takes a drag from his majestic and takes a look at it. He looks back and says, not bad.
Oh, it's for my sins. The Kinku curse, you see.
I wouldn't count this as a curse. Although, unfortunately, I hate to tell you this, but this dame ain't ringing any bells. At least none that I know of.
Damn.
He taps his finger on the table, thinking for a moment. I suppose I could put you in contact with someone I may know. Someone who works the streets, as it were, around these places. Typically frequents the shady alley, but sometimes the karaoke lounge as well. She may charge you all, but she may have a better ear to the ground when it comes to knowing certain people.
Oh, I see. And how would we know this individual when we came across?
Her name's Query. You'll know her because she is a certain purveyor of Meister Mind modifications. Had some work done to her face. It's a different color than the rest of her.
I see. Is this... Does this sound like the person that was trying to... Or Ilana and Rinkaz were trying to scam that one time? When we went to the shady alley and they almost got in a fucking fight because they were being Rinkaz and Ilana?
No, this does not sound like that person. Decker explains that she looks largely humanoid besides the face augmentations, and he explains that the color of this steel faceplate is that of a almost like aquamarine or teal color.
Very good, very good. I'll take that sketch back so I can show it to her if need be.
Of course, he says, kind of handing it back over to you.
The second question I had for you was, and I feel like you may even be less likely to know than our first question, but I'm looking for someone specifically on this planet that is involved in the same sort of research that I am. Someone that is close to getting a cure for the Kinku people, and maybe doing it through illicit means. I don't suppose you'd know of anyone like that.
Hush leans in, looking at you for a second, Aesop, and then over at Decker, and says, "Name's Frax."
A name is very helpful. Thank you, Hush. Frax, I suppose.
Decker leans back, takes another drag. Now that name is a little more familiar to me. It's actually doing a bit of digging up on this particular figure way back when, around the time before we all even met each other, all those months ago. How long's it been? 6 to 8 months, something like that.
You tell us, Jason.
Yeah, that feels about accurate, or relatively. You guys know that while you were in that massive hourglass that 6 months had passed, so it's probably been Yeah, 7, 8 months,
We
maybe a
didn't
little
meet
bit
up
more.
with him, but didn't we meet up with him after that?
You did. He's just saying the information about this Frax he was looking into
Oh.
before you guys had even met.
And
He says, this Frax, as far as I can tell, I was under the assumptions from what I gathered that he was one of these released convicts from the prison ring.
oh, good. Rinkaz, buddy, did you hear that? He's not here, but you know.
I sure did, he says. He thinks for a second and says, as a matter of fact, I was just collecting some paperwork from the offices the other day. Something about him having ties to the syndicate. At least during the time when I was looking back into it. Over half a year now.
That would make sense.
I'm not
Ties to
exactly
this-
sure if he's still with him, though.
Do you? What is his race? What kind of creature is he?
As far as I know, he's a genius.
Right. And you wouldn't happen to know whereabouts we might be able to get in contact with him?
Well, the plan was to find him in a certain particular situation where I could more or less ask him a few tough questions, if you know what I mean. He says, kind of throwing the back coat out and revealing the sort of like butt of his gun.
Ooh.
But unfortunately, it seems like over the past few months, at least for what I figured out, the syndicate ranks have thinned out pretty largely. I suppose your best bets, as far as I can tell, is to maybe try some spots you guys may know where the syndicate used to hole up at.
Shit.
A hotel. There was a hotel. Wait, the
That's-
sensation, right?
Oh, yes, that was the case, wasn't it? But was that crime family? Did they have ties to the syndicate, or was that just an independent sort
Whoa.
of mafia deal?
As far as I'm aware, Sensation is a bit of an underbelly that the syndicate used to use for their drug deals, as well as general supplier and trade demand. Though I haven't been there myself, walking into that place by myself without a whole other group of you wild knots is kind of suicide. Although now I'm not so sure.
Because why?
Well, it seems like the syndicate is throwing the towel in, as far as I can tell.
Must be scared of us. I say only half joking.
Heard rumors of the whole group disbanding. You guys heard anything on that front about it? You may have visited this place once or twice without me being here. It has been quite a few months.
We had a run-in with the syndicate. It was trying to save somebody from a steel predator. Some leader who ended up getting eaten or killed. I'm not sure what happened. I don't remember.
Somebody with ties to the syndicate?
Me as a player and Gloss today
Yes,
probably
yes.
wouldn't remember.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
This was the guy in Sensation that back in season 1, Glace, you cast friends on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And we did find out that the leader of the syndicate is a Modron.
Modron.
So maybe things are changing because of him? Or, I don't know.
Is that another construct type thing? A Modron?
Well, as far as I know, yes. We found a few little ones rolling around in Vector V, and I don't know.
I wasn't there for that.
No. Two words.
That seems to match up. I've heard rumors that there was a takeover of the syndicate from the top down. I've heard whispers of a new name going about called the Vultures here and there.
Ew.
Vultures. Do you think Frax would be connected to these vultures?
It's possible, though, if they are under new leadership, it does beg the question if they still have the same goals in mind. All of these syndicate folks, they all seem to be dressed in a particular red outfitting. I did want to see what looked to be a construct in the same red coloring as the syndicate used to be in, but it broke a line of sight down the busy streets and I wasn't able to pursue it.
Did you happen to catch which direction it was heading, at least?
Unfortunately not. I kept some distance and followed at least where I thought it had gone, and, well, it was somewhere at the outskirts of Prime, but who knows where it'd be now. That was some time ago. A couple days at least.
Well, we just have to keep an eye out for folks with red outfits, I suppose.
I suppose you could all talk to a woman named Irina at the Neogokyo Development Center.
It's funny you mentioned her. She was going to be our next lead.
Yeah, she has more ties to the ins and outs of the goings-on of the city itself. She may have a better understanding of exactly what's going on the streets itself.
Perfect.
And speaking of this Leah figure, maybe not so much Frax, he's probably trying to stay off the grid per se. You may be able to find more information about where exactly this particular person is holing up at the Date Atelier.
At the where?
The Date Atelier, it's like a arcane library.
Oh.
Although, you may need a bit of some of that technomancy, some hacking skills to be able to pull the list of names in their database. Not something you can typically do legally.
That's not me.
Oh.
If only we had some sort of hacker electrician that was obsessed with artificial intelligences. What a shame.
There's always Chunk.
That's true. I think I almost gave him a heart attack on our last adventure, though. Maybe we shouldn't put so much pressure on him.
You could always check that Helper's Ham place, too. I don't know if they got any hacking skills, but maybe some of them will come in use to you guys.
I mean, when I first met you, I hacked a body apart. Does that count?
That's a bit of a different hacking ring, Kaz. But useful in the right circumstances, I'm sure.
Oh, awesome.
All right, well, I think that's certainly worthy of a drink. Let's see what we got. I get like a bottle of like medium grade whiskey for the table to share.
Okay.
Nice.
It's like 2 gold pieces for the whole bottle.
Dunzo.
It tastes pretty adequate. It's nothing extraordinary like Halcyon's fine, like exquisite shit, but it's definitely serviceable.
Oh, I don't know if I can. I never touch the stuff, and I take a drink from my flask.
Picky, aren't we?
Oh, I just mean alcohol in general.
Okay.
So, it's been probably a good month or so since we've seen each other. Or maybe a little less or more. It's hard to tell traveling through the Twixt, of course. What's been up on your guys' end? He kind of pours himself a glass from your bottle, Aesop, and takes a swig.
Well, we've released quite a few knowledge shards since then for our more explicit adventures.
I've been seeing your faces around here on those illusion things here and there.
Yes, there was a small bit of trouble we came up against in Scourge. Mostly my fault, like 70% my fault.
I'm not a numbers person, but I feel like it's more than 70%.
You're all a bunch of Judases, I swear.
Who is that?
Or whoever the Benedict Arnold of this universe is.
I don't understand the Benedict Arnold thing either.
We're looking
Cregan?
You're all no, Aesop likes Cregan.
You're all a bunch of schlevs.
You're all
Oh.
a bunch of schlebs.
Thinking back to our history, I mean, a few of us might be Benedict Arnolds towards the whole galaxy.
Yeah,
You were not
beggars.
in our right minds.
Yeah, don't be a fucking Renkaz.
I could be in a Rincaz, you guys. Anyway, so that's what we've been up to. Getting in adventures, getting in trouble, almost dying. It's been a pretty bleak couple of weeks, I'm not going to lie.
This Chemo character, he a new recruit of your guys. How'd they convince you to join? He says, looking over your way, Chemo.
What was the name of that planet? Scourge, was it?
Scourge, yeah.
You ever been to Scourge?
I've never been there myself, but I hear it's a hotbed for all kinds of trouble.
Hotbed!
Yeah, that's. I said that, right? Hotbed?
Oh, it's... Go
Yeah.
ahead.
They got me off.
Everything's on fire now, and yes, he came off with us.
Oh.
I mean, it took a little time, and we had to pull some strings, but we got them off.
Things got really hot and heavy there for a little while.
Pulled some straight hot and heavy.
There's a big explosion at the end right before we left.
Yeah,
Oh
didn't
my
know
God.
what you wanted to tell this guy, but yeah, they exploded a factory there.
All right, let's loose lips sink ships. Decker's our friend, but
You
not
started
everyone in
it.
this room is.
Did we mention we save children? I think you should know we save children.
We got the children off too.
Decker,
This is officially the worst session we've ever done.
Decker takes a long drag and just looks at you guys. You ever considered maybe just taking some time off, using all of
honey,
your
yes.
wealthy coin and just maybe vacationing somewhere
poor
nice?
now. Oh, nope. Poor. I owe, like, Nvidia everything and Aesop some things.
Glosse, you're poor. You're one of the fanciest ones in the group.
I know, isn't that something?
Gotta spend money to make money.
You sound excited to be poor.
I've never been poor before.
You don't want to be poor, Glosse. Let me just tell you that.
Well, I'm working on it. On not being poor anymore. It's quite hard.
You at least got friends to borrow it from. And Chemo, if you're looking to make coin, well, you have to look over your shoulder and make sure no one tries to take your life while you're adventuring with the group. But it, from what I can tell, seems pretty lucrative being with this group here, these Tycoons.
Well, thanks and... Oh, go ahead, Kyle.
Yet to see anything come back of that, but we'll see.
Hey, but you're not on Scourge, am I right? Oh, did he just blink out?
Well, no.
Oh, no,
I said,
he's right.
And we did
Me.
learn about acid pigeons.
A great deal about acid pigeons.
I'm gonna train some one day.
Well, perhaps you follow up on some of these objectives you guys have in mind, and maybe they turn out to be lucrative.
Hopefully. Definitely lucrative. Look, and I have a little bit of money to kick along between jobs. We'll be fine. We just have to keep up with our knowledge shards and just keep the whole adventuring thing up.
Well, I assume you guys aren't hurting for cash.
I'm not. But we did promise Chemo some return on investment.
Well, there's plenty to be made. Also, keep in mind you guys always got probably plenty of junk you collect on your travels that you could either sell, and I've even heard that those weird bit things you guys got, you can trade them in for money as well.
We would never.
Money trade.
It's up to you. Either way, that's about the tall and short of what I know.
Well, you've been extremely helpful.
Of course. You guys have helped me out in a pinch or two before, specifically talking about our last excursion. Most of the money, as you guys are probably well aware, turned into viscera.
Ugh.
Oh, I remember very vividly, in fact.
But
Chemo will remember that.
I was able to, at least in the time leading up to it, funnel a little bit outside of Halcyon to where I'm sitting pretty well for the time being. Moving around a couple places, checking in on the offices, grabbing what I can, and trying to generally lay low. Haven't seen too many people from Halcyon looking for me way out this way on the other side of the Twixt, but hey, you never know.
Well, even so, we'll be sure to omit our meeting from the next knowledge shard that we release.
I appreciate that kindly, Aesop.
At any rate, I don't know about the rest of you, but I still have more information I need to track down.
Speaking of, where's Sun Kong at?
He's in our hearts.
He got a new heart yesterday and has the rest.
A new heart?
Oh yes, he went and got that special work done that they do over there at the Meister Minds, where they replace your body parts with non-body part things to make him better.
Has he done this before?
I take out the heart in a jar and look at it. Doesn't look like it.
Tell me that's not his real heart.
Oh, it is. And I put it back in my jacket. Don't worry, he's got a better one now.
He grabs your bottle and quickly pours himself another drink and just throws it back. Well, assuming he's still alive, tell him I said hello.
Will do.
In the meantime, I think I'm gonna have a couple more drinks here. You're welcome to stay and enjoy yourselves. The place is quiet down here. Otherwise, I got a feeling you got some things to check up on. It may be better suited to make sure you have that monkey friend of yours to come along with you, just in case trouble pops up. But of course, you guys are better suited to finding out the strategies that work for you.
I think that's sage advice. Feel free to keep the rest of that bottle, Decker. You've earned it.
I appreciate it. I'll make good use of this thing, he says.
I'm sure. Does anyone have anything else for Decker, or should we head on?
Leave him 5 gold, and I say, the next couple of packs of magicics are on me.
I appreciate it, Rinkaz. I'll put these to good use as well. I was trying to kick the things, but maybe I put it on a hiatus for a little while.
Those extreme circumstances,
Of course.
It's not good for you.
If you hear anything about a superstar player, siege ball lady, my sister, Lustria, please get in contact with me and let me know. She's missing, you see.
Oh. He pulls out a small notepad and jots the name down with a quill. Lustria, huh? Plays a siege ball thing.
Oh, yes. Yes.
All right.
She's, Glacé will describe her to him. Muscles galore. Oh, beautiful. Big woman. You'll see her from a mile away. Just let me know.
I'll keep her in mind, Glacé. I don't have any real way to contact you folks over particularly long distances, but hell, you know where to find me. I don't plan on leaving as long as no trouble brews up. It's been a while since I've been back here, but this is my home, and well, there's just something about the dark, wet, rainy streets that I can't help but like.
Well, I can't blame you. It does have its own charm, doesn't it?
Plenty of work to find around here, although seems to be slimming up some. But I should be fine from what I collected from that whole heist thing we did. I'll keep looking into this Halcyon thing as well, see what I can dig up, although how far I prod into it, well, that'll all depend on how many people come after me, so if I drop it all of a sudden, you'll know why.
Very good, very good.
In the meantime, you all tend to probably meet with the representatives from these consortium factions, I assume, on a relatively typical basis.
Yeah.
Maybe just, keep your wits about around them. Not saying you can't trust any of them, but you know how it is. I guess that's just my...
Yeah, we kind of agree with you there.
Well, good. I Just a bit of my PI speaking, that's all.
Of course.
All right, well, good luck in your future travels, and I'll be around.
We have your number. I hold out the bejeweled sending stone.
Decker pulls out his slab, his handheld slab. Kimo, you see a rectangular shape in his hand with a dark bronzish black coloration, and as he holds it up, there's a couple glyphs that appear on it and then kind of slowly lose their color and sink back into the device. I got your numbers as well. At least when you're around the planet, you can give me a call, but outside of that, these things won't work.
Right.
Of course, of course.
Heard there are dumbed down versions of these sending stone things made affordable to the everyman.
Pretty clever.
Anyways, good luck with y'all.
Aesop
Thank you.
stands up, gives him a little bow.
He goes to shake your guys' hands and bids you adieu.
Give him a bro hug and say, be safe.
Nice.
Will do. You be safe yourself, he says, kind of patting you on the chest.
Always, always. If I don't make it back here, it was good knowing you, especially with these damn things chasing us.
Yeah, you should consider that vacation sometime, he says, and takes another drag.
Yes.
We'll have to go to some paradise planet. I'm sure that exists somewhere.
Oh,
That's
check.
my home.
Plenty of smaller planetoids around Halcyon. All you gotta do is ask them.
Nice. I like it. I like this idea.
A beach episode, think about it.
My home planet, they'd love you guys. A few of you they might try to eat or praise as royalty. I'm not really sure.
Hmm.
50-50, those odds.
Do they eat royalty there on the planet?
The royalty eats other people. They're not all cannibals. I mean, it depends on the species, I guess, but
I don't want to go to your planet.
Sounds lovely.
sunsets, beaches, drinks,
Cannibals.
fresh food. No, well, they don't eat their own kind. I mean, they've eaten royalty from others.
Predators.
Let's put it on the list of potential vacation spots. We're never going there, Class A.
Why
We'll
are we
never
even
go
putting it
there.
on the list? It's horrible.
Just say it. Just say you're doing it. There's no list. So, what does everyone think? Should we take a breather, wait for Sun Kong to heal up? Should we swing by Urina's place? I don't think we should tango with the black market type area yet.
Let's go check on the monkey.
You guys ascend the stairs, one of you helming the steel wheelchair, and head back into the city streets. Here's the map here. And yeah, you just let me know where you'd like to go.
To the monkey, which I guess would be the Meister Minds.
He's still got like 20 hours, right?
Yeah, there's still close to a day because he had just finished his surgery. It's maybe been like an hour between drinks with Decker and hanging out with him, but still plenty of time left.
Well, if we do go to Urina's, I mean, it can't be too dangerous, right?
Hopefully. When Amryn and I went to the Development Corporation the first time, we met with Urina. She was attacked by syndicate members. But, we handled them then without a monkey, and we could handle them now if they showed up.
They're like a hit on her or something? Is she...
We took care of that problem already.
Oh, but how do we know she's not in other problems? If that
We
was...
don't.
Is that like a regular thing for her?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Aesop, walking outside, is going to fly up above the skyline and see if he can spot the steel predator.
You expand your 3D tattoo-like wings and with a push throw yourself off of the ground into the air. You feel the rain spattering in your face and kind of hold up a hand as you shoot up. This city of Neogokyo Prime is got some verticality to it, but you're able to clear the general sort of like first tier buildings to get a pretty good view around you. Give me a perception check at advantage because this is based on sight.
Yep. That's going to be an unnatural 20.
You peer around. How long do you spend looking?
Like 2 or 3 minutes. Like, not... I don't want to keep everyone waiting.
You peer around. The general darkness of the overcast and rain, as well as the sort of ambient lighting of the city streets, makes things a little difficult to outline anything. You do see the general crowds moving down below. There is 1 or 2 people that were, within a couple blocks to sort of point as you lift off into the air. You also see above you lines of sort of trailing what look to be smaller spelljammers, just sort of almost going in like a invisible lane high above the city streets, just shifting through the air. Almost in sync with the streets below, although they're way floors and floors up into the air. You peer around and you don't notice anything that looks like a still predator watching.
All right, well, I'll swoop back down and say, I don't see the predator, at least not on the rooftops. We might be safe to swing by the development corporation and then call it a night until Sun Kong is better.
That sounds... yes, let's just maybe try to be quiet about going about places.
Or maybe we should stick around where other people can see us. You know?
Yes, like in a crowd. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, blending in.
If we're not eaten by the steel monster, can we stop at the shopping district again? Kind of
Oh
didn't
my
get a chance to
goodness.
put things up before we got stalked earlier.
Oh, well, I don't see why not.
Oh, am I getting a skateboard in VD?
And VD, we are going to have to talk when we get on the ship, just you and me.
Yes to both, maybe. Okay.
All right, swing by the shopping district, then to the development corporation. Let's go.
Is there anything you guys are doing in particular as you head that way, or you just want to kind of mull through the streets and make your way to the shopping district?
Yeah.
Let's try to
Blend in.
stay in areas where there's people, so we're not going down any dark alleys where we could get pounced on by a metal jaguar.
Okay. Trying to stay in the relative vicinity where if a predator was to try and attack you, it would be in clear view of other people.
Yeah, and I turned rec back on now that Decker's gone.
Okay. You make your way through these city streets. There is the occasional passerby who turns to look at you guys, although now that you were sort of accosted by that group who realize that you were the ones from those knowledge shards on the illusions around town, you realize that you're building a little bit of some reputation around here due to your Wyrd and Wyld recorded sessions. You find yourselves back in the shopping district.
Before we go back in the shopping district, right before we walk in, I'm gonna...
You guys are close to walking into the shopping district.
Alright, I'm gonna tip my hat, maybe around a corner and activate the hat of disguise and turn my scales from the mustard dark mustard color they are to a more fluorescent kind of green and grow a little bit taller.
Okay. You
Just
all
hide
watch as
myself
this
a bit.
happens. Yeah,
Oh, lizard man.
clearly still lizard folk, but a little less than the same appearance as your normal look, Brink has. And you guys enter the shopping district.
All right, what were you looking for in VT?
We need to go to the jewelry shop. I need to see if they have some sort of diamonds for us. And then the scrolls and parchment shop, because I think we could use few more tricks.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Sounds good. I would, whatever Nvidi's doing, I would like to stand outside of the storefront and just look for 1 steel predators and 2 people with red garb that look like they might be in a gang.
Ooh, I want to help him since I'm not shopping because I'm poor.
Okay. You guys can make your perception checks. And Vidi, you head on in as you are followed by... I mean, most of the group, I'm assuming, is kind of just either hanging out with Vidi or with Aesop and Glace, sort of just scanning the perimeter on the outside, just looking along the groups of people who are shopping here and keeping an eye out. Nvidia, you head into the gym shop first.
Yes.
And what are you looking to buy?
I'm looking to buy diamonds. I believe the shop says it only carries up to good, and that's a 1 higher than good. I closed the menu as soon as you asked me about it rather than opened it. There we go.
It is
Got it.
considered a legendary gem, a diamond.
Oh.
However, as per our last season, I don't even know that we've done it this season. I will allow you to kind of once visit per planet on a shopping menu, make a high or low d20 fate roll, and if you call it, they will have 1 piece of that item on the tier up.
Do it.
All right, I'm calling high.
Oh.
It always
No.
happens. It always happens.
That's okay.
So you're at the vendor here at the gym shop, who is a construct. He looks kind of like a robot. We do not have diamonds. Smaller pieces, though. Make me a persuasion check.
Ooh,
Ooh,
I can do these.
famous last words.
That's a 12.
With the +9, oh my god!
It's a charisma character, mate.
Yeah.
He says, have some smaller pieces coming in the next few days, but nothing currently in stock for that item, sir.
Aw.
Okay, how about... Because I'm reading this menu.
As you're reading
How
that,
glass beads.
an interesting item, sir.
You have diamonds? No. How about glass baubles? Worthless glass baubles. You got any of those?
The reagents, mate.
Oh, that's cool.
Is that on the same list here?
Small crystal beads.
Small crystal beads.
I'm looking on the thing. Precious semi-metals.
You know, if you're just looking for like reagents that don't have a cost associated with them,
Yeah.
you can just buy a component pouch like from a magic shop for like I think they're like 25 gold.
I have one, and I also have a necklace that says it's arcane focus.
Oh, well, if you have a component pouch, you already have all this stuff then.
Oh, well then.
Except diamonds. Anything that has an actual
Consumable,
monetary value.
yeah.
Even I think it's even stuff that isn't consumable but has a cost associated with it. You need to buy. But if you just looking for like beads and like metal shavings, you got that.
Okay. Yeah, then just the diamonds. If you don't have the diamonds, then I'm good here. I just need the scroll merchant for rituals.
He mentions he will get some smaller pieces in within the next 2 days.
Okay. If we're here, I'll see if we can come back.
Hey, I think that's around the time we're supposed to get the specialist for Kui, so we'll just do it on the way out.
Perfect.
Very good, sir.
Would I know how many? Would the robot be able to tell me how many they're getting in? Or how much total?
How much of it do you need to cast your spell?
It's 300 gold worth of diamonds per cast.
Okay. He pulls up on a glass counter arcane glyphs show up, and in common you see sort of like a stock list, and he shows you that there will be enough for 2 of those castings. So it's 600 gold for the equivalent of 2 casts of the spell.
Can I reserve those ahead of time, pick them up later, or just have to come back in time?
You'll be able to come in and get them, essentially. He puts you on a reservation list.
Perfect. That's it for me then.
All right. You guys outside, what were your perception checks as he's kind of doing this business?
19.
13.
Pretty good, pretty good. Glossy, you peer around, don't see anything particularly out of sorts other than just the general merry folk mulling around through the shopping district. Occasional laughs, a lot of these Newman critters moving in and about the crowds, speaking to one another. Aesop, for a fleeting second, you think you see something shifting on the tops of one of the nearby shopping district buildings. But with the rain and darkness, it's a little too difficult to tell. Either way, you kind of hone in on that section where you thought you saw movement and see nothing now.
Okay, that does make me a little nervous. Thought I saw something. On the roof. It's gone, though. It was probably just my imagination.
NVD steps back out with Jashini.
Did you get what you need?
He was looking for some glass beads, but it turns out he may already have some.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right then.
Also, diamond. He's going to buy some diamond.
NVD, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, not for me. Not for me. Come on now.
Oh, all right.
For his magic.
Of course. Of course. What else did you need, NVD? Something with scrolls?
Yes, they have quite the list of scrolls here in town. Think we could benefit from some new tricks up my sleeve.
Well, let's do that then. Oh my god.
What are you looking to buy, NVD?
I'm looking for 3rd level rituals.
Okay.
Looking for 2 of them. You have
3rd
Tiny
levels.
Hut and Phantom Steed.
Phantom Steed!
Let me make a d4 roll to see how many. They only have 1, but they'll have 1 of either of those.
Okay. And then if I'm also allowed to look at level 1 scrolls.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, these are ritual books, not scrolls. 3rd
Correct.
level ritual
Yeah.
book.
So he offers you a for 500 gold pieces the 3rd level ritual book of either one of those 2 you just mentioned, and then whatever else you're looking for.
I'm looking for, on level 1, looking for Floating Disc and Speak with Animals.
All right. I just have to make a separate roll to see how the quantity is for these. Oh, they have 4 in stock, so they'll have both of those in stock at the price listed.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Well, I'd like 1 of each one of those that he's got.
So 200 GP for those 2 first levels, and the 500 for the 3rd.
I'm going to be able to make a floating disc, so I don't know if you want to save your money on that and spend it on something else.
We could use 2 floating discs.
Hell
Fair
yeah.
enough.
Correct answer.
Fair enough.
Okay, so it's one or the other on the...
On the 3rd level, because he only has 1 in stock. I have to make that quantity roll, and unfortunately it was a 1.
It was a 1. Okay, we'll do what's right for the team and get the tiny hut.
Oh, that's a good one.
Cool. Yeah, you get your tiny hut, and then the 2 first level spells, what were those? The Tinser's Floating Disc and...
Tinser's Floating Disc and Speak with Animals.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, you pick those up.
That should be a -7.
Yep, 700 GP.
You got it. Thank you, sir.
Well spent. Well spent.
Yeah, those are some cool utility spells that may come in use.
It's because you're a tome lock, right? So you.
Tome lock.
Oh, that's cool.
Anything ritual tagged.
Sick.
So when we're on downtime on the ship, I'll be furiously meditating for those few days learning these.
Well, so you get to add like any ritual to your spellbook?
Yeah, I can scribe it in downtime,
nice.
and then I can keep it.
Let's say. Okay.
Good shit.
Keep an eye out, please. Those are my shinies.
NVD steps out with a few scroll parchments in hand, keeping them out of the rain as he meets up with the rest of you guys.
All right then. It sounds like you found what you were looking for.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go meet up with Urena and call it a night.
Yes.
You guys head over to the development center, the corporation.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a picture for this place. No. You guys head on over to the Neogokyo Development Corporation, or Center. It's not too far of a jaunt from the shopping district, just a bit more south and over to the east, closer to the edge of Neogokyo Prime. You step inside a very tall, circular building you guys have been in this area before. It looks like a call center, essentially. Lots of steel-looking cubicles, plenty of races of all kinds, some genius, elven, human. You see quite a few gnomes here. They all have sending stones in hand and seem to be talking and furiously writing all kinds of notes. You're able to flag down an attendant and ask for Urena, and the woman who was a friend of Amren's that you guys met previously steps down. Chemo and Invidi, you see a female human, pale-skinned and fair, stepping down and greeting you guys. A little bit of sort of like gears and some stuff kind of adorned on her outfit that makes her seem at home here on Neogokyo. Hello again. How's everything going?
Oh, it's fine. Could be better, could be worse.
I see, she says. She kind of has a stack of papers in hand that she hands off to a smaller gnome attendant who steps away. Well, Wyld Tycoons, I see you've been making a bit of a name for yourselves. What can I help you with? I assume that you, Actually, I believe, Bay, you sent a message from Amren to Urena.
Oh.
Yeah, Arena was one of Amren's friends.
Okay,
so.
she tells you guys, I got word from Amren that everything is going nice and well for her, and I hope the same for you all. What brings you here?
Well, we were hoping you might be able to help us track down a couple of folks. Well, actually one in particular for me. I'm looking for a man named Frax, yes. A genius working on a Kinku-related subject, probably using illicit means. And was wondering if you had any sort of dealings with this person, or had heard about him.
What can you tell me about this Frax? She says.
He may have ties to the Syndicate, although also possibly this Vulture gang, whoever these folks are that have filled the void that the Syndicate left. He's an escaped convict, in fact.
Oh dear.
Yes.
I assume we have records of such an individual, though if he has returned to Neogokyo Prime, I may not exactly be sure where he is located at. These vultures you speak of, have you gathered any more information during your time here as Wildknots about this particular group?
very little, I'm afraid. All we know is that they appeared as remnants or to take the place of the Syndicate once they started falling apart. Maybe they're the last few members of the Syndicate, we're not sure. All we know is that they usually dress in red.
That does seem to be the associated color with the older Syndicate. We've been hearing some strange reports from the general public. I'll look into this Frax for you. It will take me some time, though. I have a couple other demands that I need to meet first. Could you give me a few hours?
But of course. Is there anything that we could do to help you or the Development Corporation out?
Well, there are some things, though they don't necessarily need immediate attention, just some general buzz going around in Prime. We have had some reports about strange constructs, perhaps related to the one in red that you mentioned, Aesop, related to multiple unsolved disappearances.
Oh dear. We may know some of that firsthand. We're being stalked right now by a steel predator, a panther-like construct that has been watching us from the rooftops.
Have you seen it recently?
Within the past, yes, within the past few hours, actually.
She has a very nervous look on her face, and she kind of looks around at the multiple people inside of the building.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's got a very specific target. It doesn't just go after random people. It's like a hit thing. It's kind of like you have to have a hit on you or something, and then it goes after you.
It also definitely looks like a big cat, so be pretty obvious.
Well, according to our reports, from what we've gathered, sometimes these disappearances that seem to have a potential link, the citizens taken don't come back, but sometimes they are returned. But from what we've gathered, they seem different.
Oh.
Something changed or off, but I haven't had the opportunity to meet anyone firsthand regarding these reports.
Are they around?
No one in the immediate vicinity. The only other thing of note, as I try to quickly go through these notes now, she says, flipping through papers, we've received some interesting reports about strange shipments and large spelljammer-like barges and containers leaving Prime City into the Dark Valley before going black. Typically, we're able to keep a log of where everything moves and goes throughout the city, but once these head out into the Dark Valley, we're unable to track them anymore for some reason.
Do you think they're getting shot down? Destroyed? Crash?
I'm unsure. I'm unfortunately very city-bound with all of the different happenings in Prime, so I'm unsure. It's not something I've looked into yet. Again, these are nothing that require immediate attention, but you bringing up this steel predator business, I suppose there may be a linkage to the disappearances, and I will have to put a bit of a priority on that one.
Alright. So I'm just jotting down some notes here.
Notes, I like it.
Because otherwise I'm gonna fucking forget, like I always do. I say, I take out the sketch of Leah and I say, total long shot, but have you seen this woman before? Might go by the name Leah. Probably not, but might.
She takes a look at it and studies it and then says, I see quite a few faces here in the Development Corporation. It's another name I could run through the system.
If it's not too much trouble, I don't suspect anything will come up, but I guess it's worth a try.
Alright, I'll take a look into that as well. Is there anything I should know with this one? She says.
Not other than she probably doesn't want to be found.
Oh. Well, I'll do what I can for this Frax and this Leah and see what I can dig up for you. Give me a few hours, though.
Alright, sounds good. Do you guys want to, like, turn in for the night and come back in the morning?
I was about to say, we can
Go
come
get Sun
back.
Kong. Yeah, let's do that. We'll be back tomorrow morning.
Very good. Keep safe out there, and please, be mindful of where you go if you're being tracked by this predator.
Oh, goodness. Yes, we will.
Very good. Be safe. And she waves and heads back down through the steel cubicles off.
Bye. You know, since we're here, I know you guys usually like hiring helpers' hands. Is that something that you would be interested in, since we're right next door to?
I mean, we have to come back here tomorrow. Let's do that when Sun Kong's here. He adores the helper's hand.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
All right. You guys are able to go wherever you'd like in terms of finding a lodging, but I would just say that during your previous visits here, you guys typically stayed at the Capsule Hotel that was a minimalistic, somewhat cramped, but relatively quiet place close to Shady's Alley in the Daedalier up north of the Prime City. You're welcome to stay there. I believe it was 10 GP a night. Otherwise, you can go anywhere you want.
10 GP a night? I can't afford that.
You need some gold, Glace.
And BD, darling.
Hi.
Hi. Can you buy me a hotel room?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, you're so sweet. I'll just add it onto the list of things I owe you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
I like how 5 minutes ago Glace was like, we need to have a talk about spending money on women.
Listen, they're not okay with it unless it's them.
Different women.
Don't assume Glossy's gender.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's actually true.
It's very true.
In Glace's case, that's actually true.
I don't think he would know the difference, honestly.
Plus, I'm at least doing things for the party.
That's right.
Well, like, okay.
Like
Say it,
keeping
Timo. Let it out.
morale up.
Yeah.
You
You guys
have
would all be
to
better to help me admit it.
sweet massage. That's for the party.
You don't know me.
You guys head over to Mecha Capsule Hotel. You each toss in. You don't have to do it for your followers. And we'll say that Hush can squeeze in one of the rooms with Aesop. So you guys are just paying for yourselves. 10 GP apiece. And you are able to stay. I'm assuming everyone wants to take a 8-hour nap. Nappy New.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Do you guys want to do 8 hours and continue exploring, or do you want to just cut to the chase and like jump like say 16 or so hours ahead so that Sun Kong can come in?
Let's
Yeah,
cut to the chase.
Yeah, let's get Sun Kong in here.
Okay, so you guys spend some extended time at the Capsule Hotel. Is anyone going to keep watch during this time? You're in the relative safety of a building, so you're not just like outside camping.
I'll take a first shift.
Yeah, Aesop can take a second shift. He has like all of his resources available, so.
So
Kimo
first,
only needs 4 hours, so you can take a shift.
Perfect.
okay, we'll say like a shift is what, like, I don't know. We'll just go in 4-hour spans. You guys have 16 hours. You're each going to get your long rest in. Give me a perception check, Rinkaz. Glace says 20.
Finalizing payment.
Rinkaz, while everyone is
13,
napping, you keep an eye out of the glass windows and see nothing out of the sorts. Second shift, Aesop, you're up.
18. Thank you, Subject 22.
Aesop, you peer out of the glass, keeping an eye out, as well as the general metal hallways of the Capsule Hotel. You see nothing out of sorts.
All right.
Kimo, third shift.
Perception +6.
Ooh.
Oh, chemo! There's our 20.
Good
He
point, God.
sees absolutely nothing.
What's the total on that chemo, as well as you get your good boy good luck card?
26. 26.
With a 26, you notice walking slowly amongst some of the rooftops, occasionally turning to stare at the glass windows. A few blocks out, a steel predator.
Oh, good. Good!
It almost like a actual fleshy animal moves from one rooftop to the next, occasionally turning to just go back the same way, watching the windows. It's very dark, and you feel like if you hadn't have really tried to pierce through the darkness and overcast, it's trying to maintain its well-hidden nature, but you were able to spot it with your eagle eye peering out the window.
Jason,
so it definitely knows that where we are, is what you're saying.
It does seem to be staring, maybe not necessarily directly at your set of windows, but at the general vicinity of the hotel. So you get the sense that it probably knows you're in there somewhere.
So, without moving, I'll cast Minor Illusion and make a little illusory version of it on the inside, so everybody can see what it is out there.
Oh, good. It's still following us.
So it must have been following us this entire time if it knows where we are. How does it know? What?
That's a very good question.
Can it track us with some device? Is it following us based on something we're carrying?
I pull Rek out and I'm like looking at Rek. Right now we're being stalked by the predator again. It's look at this illusion that's the chemo made. That's what it looks like. It's terrified. It's out there right now.
Lushy, this is a sidebar. Just put some like real spooky music in the background here. It's gonna go great. Also, we are literally being stalked by this.
Yeah,
not to downplay the severity.
We watched this thing kill men before. This is scary.
If we recall correctly, it can just like smell who it's tracking, right? Like there's no like tracker that gets slipped on someone, right, Jason?
You guys can make knowledge checks if you'd like.
Fuck you. How about a history?
I'll take a history. I'll take even a nature, because it is a monster, a creature.
I don't think I was with the
Insight,
party
survival?
when
You
they
can
got
s-
stalked by it the last time.
You can still make checks which may draw on your experiences either from the college, like in VD, or just general growing up and knowledge.
Insight, survival.
I'll
14.
even... It may tell you some different stuff, but I'll even take a survival check.
Yeah.
All 0 bonus for me, so I got 14.
So let's go through. Aesop, what was your total, and what was the check?
It was 12 for nature.
As far as you remember, Aesop, it's difficult to tell. Yeah, you remember that it didn't really have any defining features on its face other than just the jagged steel maw. So you're not sure if it's tracking from smell. Glosse, what was your 19?
History.
With your history check, Glosse, you know that a steel predator typically is given the location of a target by whomever it is sent by and will track them down. This could include many things. It could include trackings left by the individual, stuff like that. However, it strikes you odd. You guys are in a huge city where there are plenty of folks, plenty of alleyways to shift in and out of, as well as you don't really leave any foot tracks anywhere. The ground here is that solid steel that makes up the city. So it does seem a little out of sorts for it to be able to have this very keen perception of where you each are at all times.
Do you guys think that it might be somebody else that was associated with us? I mean, if you can't find a target, you find, people that know the target. Maybe somebody we came in contact with, it could be after.
Well, there's these new... What?
No, I hope that's wrong. What if it's counting on us getting to the original Leah? What if Leah's the target?
But how would it know that we're even after?
I don't know.
Well, there's these new golems going around the city. Maybe it's somehow using them. Maybe those golems really aren't. Maybe the Meister Minds are in it, and we don't know. These golems could be surveying everything, including us, and the Still Predator might be working with them somehow, or whoever is controlling the Still Predator.
Maybe they're in the same... I don't really know how all the tech works, but on a same network or same program, their sentries for base part, maybe they're... I try to do the best with 10 intelligence as a lizard man to say they're linked together somehow.
Maybe. We just don't have enough information, but I feel like, it would probably take the time to attack us now that we're kind of sedentary in one spot, right? Right? It wouldn't just drive us crazy by stalking us out there.
Maybe it's waiting until we're actually alone.
Could I take a base intelligence check or some sort of check to think on bounty hunting and predatorial hunting if it looks like anything I'd know?
Ooh.
Insight, maybe?
Insight?
Insight, or again, an interesting check, but I'd take a survival or nature. And what are you trying to figure out? What?
Since it hasn't attacked us, what it might be kind of waiting for? Maybe like a type of pattern.
I'll say an insight check will tell you the most, though if you're creative, I can tell you using those other checks some information.
Insight and survival are roughly the same, so I'll take an insight. 10.
Here, can I use my good boy card and my survivor roll earlier for this?
What's your good boy card do?
Plus D8
Sure.
to roll. Yeah. So that's a 20. Natural.
So, Rink
20
has
survival.
nothing comes out of sorts. You haven't noticed any particular thing that comes up that you can think of in terms of how it's able to find you guys. You kind of stand out in the general sense of your faces are kind of in these programmed illusions along the way, and you are sticking out in public. You're not trying to sort of like move through the alleyways in such a way to get it to lose track of you. So perhaps it's just been able to just follow you along the whole way. Your check, Chemo, what was that keying off of?
Survival. 20 all day.
You, Chemo, with a unnatural 20,
Correct, yeah.
have noticed, probably, and because you are a newer member to the group, that the occasional passerby has been turning and looking at you, but with a certain extended period of time before slowly turning back and continuing to walk. Most others seem to typically turn, pull the arm of maybe someone next to him, point him out to the group. But there's just this occasional one that you've noticed with your survival skills of keeping sort of an eyes in the back of your head of the lone individual member occasionally just turning to look at you without ever really noticing that you were there to begin with. Almost just like they knew you were there, watching you for a few seconds and then turning back to doing whatever they were doing before. Seems odd, but none of them have seemed like constructs. All these humanoids and these weird Newmans who are relatively humanoid, but just with these weird occasional distinguishing features like scales for their skin, or like I said, the bug eyes.
I think whoever behind this predator has surveillance means beyond our comprehension.
Oh, well, that doesn't make me feel any better.
Well,
Oh,
at least
geez.
it's not an unknown anymore.
So, do you think there's just people in hiding around the city watching us?
It seems to me that some of the people, these Newmans, they may be working for, or spying. Who knows how much they're actually participating. You said they were giving us kind of like a dead look.
Yeah, you notice the occasional passerby on the streets would catch eyes on your group as you guys pass by and would point them out to the others as if to, like in the sense of like, hey, look, this group is kind of famous, or I remember seeing them. But then there's the occasional one who wouldn't even necessarily know that you were there, would have their backs turned towards you, and would just turn to immediately lock eyes in the group, watch for a few seconds, and then turn back to doing whatever they were doing.
Kind of compulsory, not something that they're excited to
Like
do.
they just sort of mindlessly knew you were there without being told.
No, I think there's some sort of like human human surveillance.
That's so strange. Never heard of anything like that.
Seems like
Let's
actually a
avoid
pretty good idea, but yeah.
Well then, I think we definitely need to get Sun Kong back.
All right. You guys will just say 4-hour shifts apiece. So last 4 hours, anybody want to take that shift?
I got it.
All right. Because Chemo was able to perceptively see the steel predator in their distance, you can make a perception check at advantage with his guidance in the general area where he saw it before.
It's right over there. You see, right past the chimney. Not that chimney. That one.
16 with advantage.
You follow the general tract of where he mentioned to you before heading to rest himself, but because of the overcast weather, even with your heightened senses, you can't really notice the creature. Or perhaps he's moved from that spot. It's too difficult to tell.
And Vinny thinks he sees it, but it's just a weather.
But the final 4 hours pass. Everyone, you can heal up, get your slots back, whatever you need for a long rest.
Yeah.
Sun Kong, similarly, go ahead and if you needed to heal up or do anything, you got your key points back, yada yada.
How does Sun Kong feel right now?
It's the first thing that he does now that he has his body back.
We'll say that you guys head over to the Meister Mind's quarter and head down into the construct graft area and find Sun Kong. Sun Kong, you've woken up, you still feel pretty sore, but whatever healing magic the genius have, as well as the general relaxing for almost a full day, has given you some renewed vigor as to where you previously just fainted in the arms of Clatter. Clatter has been standing by you, kind of watching over the whole time, which gave you a little bit of a sense of security, as you probably have a little bit of an apprehensive nature towards the genius from season 1. You're sore, but you're able to stand and move, and nothing particularly hinders you. You're able to join up with the rest of the group. You do notice on your chest is a shaved area, and you see some stitching where they made the incision. You also, like I said before, feel that coldness inside of you. And as you are seeing the group head down on the large lift, it almost looks like a tensor's floating disc. It's just pretty sizable to hold like probably up to 20, 30 people. In your mind, you hear, Sun Kang,
Moshi?
they did something to you.
Oh God.
Yeah, I let we we have a new heart.
I felt a panging sense of shifting into a defensive mode, but held back considering I believe this upgrade will be advantageous for you.
It will, it'll keep me from getting exhausted so fast, especially after using the bionoid form.
Excellent. We can remain in sync for a longer period of time.
Indeed.
At this point, you hear his voice fade away as the rest of the group convenes with you.
Oh, Monkey! How are
Hey,
you
guys.
feeling? What do you remember? What's the last thing you remember?
I remember, okay, Glace, after waking up the first time.
Okay.
They did a marvelous job, Sun Kang.
I actually feel okay, so we'll see.
Well, do you want the good news or the bad news?
Bad news?
We're being definitely totally stalked by that steel predator, and maybe also members of the general townsfolk around here. We're not sure.
And the good news?
The steel predator hasn't attacked us yet.
Okay, yeah.
We're being tracked by it. It hasn't killed us yet. That's the good news.
That's the good news.
Set up and slam. Nice.
What else did you guys get up to while I was asleep?
Well, we went shopping. We went down and spoke with Urena. Asked her a few questions. We met up with Decker.
Oh, Deco was on planet.
He wished you well.
Yes, he says hello.
Oh, I'm sure he did. He's a good guy.
Yes. Well, he gave us a little bit of information. I'm afraid we're no closer, really, to track down the original Leia, but we did learn that there might be remnants of the Syndicate in town.
Really? They're still around?
Calling themselves the Vultures now, I guess.
Ah.
We're looking for some genius named Frax. Wait.
Yes, Frax, yes.
Frax.
But that's related to my whole deal. The main thing is we don't really know where to find Leia. We could perhaps, now that we have Sun Kang back, we could see if we can find more information in Shady's Alley.
Lead the way. I'm ready. Let's give this heart a good workout.
Oh, what am I saying? We should go to the Helper's Hand and Urena first. She may have more information for us.
Yes.
All
Maybe
right.
get some extra protection.
You guys...
I pull out some rations and give them to Sun Kang.
Nice.
Oh, yes,
I
Sun
have
Kang.
some, but thank you.
You do realize now that you a large growl comes from your stomach.
I eat like 2 rations.
Okay. Sun Kang kind of stuffs his mouth, following you guys as you head out from the Meister Mind's construct graph laboratory. You wanting to head towards the Helper's Hand next, everybody?
Hell yeah.
You begin making your way through these streets. Everybody make a perception check.
Ooh, gross.
I'm feeling the thing's already like off planet, but he's just scaring the crap out of us.
18 here.
17.
18 here.
22.
Woo.
Everyone keeps their eyes peeled heading through the city streets, but doesn't notice too much out of the ordinary. There's still the occasional head turn. Chemo, on the way there you do notice, like you surmised before, there is a figure wiping down one of the glass panels to a steel building at the ground floor. And without noticing you were there, just turns to see you, watches, and slowly turns back and continues wiping.
Oh, I don't like that.
I make a subtle but obvious point at him after he stops looking at us.
Do you think maybe that's how the steel predator tracks? I don't remember any eyes on them. Maybe they use other creatures.
I don't know, I'm not so good with magic.
Don't like it, though. Definitely don't like it.
You guys continue making your way down to the Helper's Hand Guild. Alright, guys. Let me take a look here. One at a time. I need somebody to make me a d20 roll. I'll take the first one.
Not it.
Just a base d20?
Wow,
Oops.
so long.
Just a base d20.
That's like, you don't really want that, though, because it's not better than any of the other
Well,
results,
is it
really.
like the magical, arcane man?
I'll still
Got
take
that
it.
one time.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right, Glace.
So yeah, 20.
Is there a magical item table list in the DMG?
Oh, fuck. Well, with
Also.
D&D Beyond, hold on.
Thought I saw one. Look in the base book if you guys want to use the
Let's take a look here.
most wonderful invention of all time.
Hang on just a second. Hold that thought. Who rolled that natty 20?
Sun Kong?
Very good, Sun Kong. Hold that thought.
Hold, please.
You've got 2 hearts now.
Treasure. You want random treasure? Check 134 DMG.
There you go.
If that's what you're looking for.
Sun Kong, roll a 1d10, please.
Hey! I rolled 11.
4.
Stepping out from behind the Helper's Hand curtain, Chemo, Nvidi, you guys see a tall, thin, almost gaunt-looking bluish figure. You guys all know this figure as a arcane, or in this case, interestingly titled a mercane. He steps up to you and says, "Greetings. I have an item that you may wish to take on your travels," he says. He turns around and faces his back towards you and then turns back your way. He now has in his hands armor of resistance towards force damage.
Oh.
It will fit and is made for any of your characters, whatever armor you are proficient in.
Wow, that's... What just happened? What? This is cool, I guess? Who needs resistance from force damage?
I used to work here. This happens sometimes.
Oh. Okay.
Think
Well,
of it like a
you know,
secret
like,
shopper thing.
like the 50th caller or customer or something.
I'm pretty full up on magic items, so if someone else wants to take that, you know, keep you from getting pegged with magic missiles.
No armor for me.
Anybody want or need it?
If nobody wants it, I'll take it. But if Sun Kong, if you want it, you take it.
I don't know. I mean, if nobody else wanted it, I mean,
Yeah,
What's your-
go ahead.
You
what does it add to
defense,
AC?
though, don't
What
you?
does it add anything to AC?
It is armor of resistance, and you have resistance to force damage while wearing the armor.
Okay. And it's not like actually wearing armor though, right? So I can still do my unarmored attacks and everything.
Well, no, it technically is armor.
Okay,
Okay.
somebody else take it.
Glosse, congratulations!
It's all yours.
He offers it to you, Glosse, for 2,000 gold pieces.
Oh, you're so sweet. I don't want it.
Wait a minute. We have to pay for it?
Of course.
Should have said that at the beginning.
Hard pass on that, good chap.
What's your name, by the way? We've met before. I'm Glosse.
I have never met you before, he says. Perhaps you met another one who looks similar to myself.
Ooh, awkward.
My name is Civil.
Sybil, it's nice to meet you. So
Thank
sorry
you for
about
the gesture.
Of course. If there are no buyers, I shall return.
Return where?
To my next place of dealings.
Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye, he says, and he steps back behind the curtain. One of the genius attendants steps over and pulls the curtain out, and there is no figure who just stepped behind. It's as if he is completely vanished.
Magical. Ooh, so serious.
So I kind of wasted the 20. God damn it.
Well, it was interesting.
This one
Who's
was
next?
not on our list. Interesting, he says, stepping back up to the counter. Next person, give me a D20 roll, please.
DHC 16.
A 16. A figure you can hear begins stepping towards the curtain. However, before they are able to pull it open, you hear a scuffling noise. And pushing through the curtain is a somewhat large figure who he is wearing just the most gaudy looking reddish orange outfit. He has what looks to be like some type of product in his hair that gives him tips that he is colored with this reddish yellow look, and he is wearing spectacles that have a similar fiery look. And he says, "Yo guys, what up? Triple D here."
I hate him.
It is kind of weird.
I hate
Oh
him.
my god.
Oh, God.
Hired forever.
No one's allowed to hire this man.
Hired forever.
Higher Triple D.
Accompanying paperwork that the genius reads off is that sporting fiery orange-tipped hair, several leather armbands, and what looks like a pair of tinted spectacles on both the front and back of his head. Triple D is a very definition of eccentricity. We're pretty sure he speaks common, but seems to intertwine it with a language all his own. He claims to have joined the Helper's Hand while taking a bit of time off from his position as mayor of a location called Flavor Town. More specifically, he seems to have a certain knack for brewing up some bodacious beverages. Oh god, now I'm doing it.
I pull out my flask, raise it to him, and say, "You, sir, are a man of class and refinement. You should meet our friend Mean Gene." And I just take a drink in his honor.
Hey. Oh, go ahead.
Mean Jane where?
I've never met a Mean Gene before, but I'd like to meet the bro.
I hate this so much.
Oh my god.
So how much are your services, sir?
Yes, how much?
I make some delicious things to sip on, guys. Only 2 gold pieces a day.
Pay him.
A steal.
Alright, let's make a deal though. We got some stuff going on. I'd like to buy your services for a couple of days. Maybe get some extra drinks for everybody, you know. I mean, Flavor Town sounds like a hell of a place. Do you think you could maybe chill here, lay low, a little incognito for a while? I'll even toss in an extra gold for you.
You got it, gnarly skizzer dude.
Oh my god.
You know, scaly skizzer dude.
Oh, that
Fist
makes
bump
perfect.
him.
He clearly
You're the
fist
best.
bumps you back.
I don't think I understand. Could you explain it one more time?
Scales.
Yeah.
Skizzardy.
I don't know.
And gnarly.
Uh-huh.
Oh, get this on rec. Everybody, this is Triple D.
Oh no, why are we doing this?
Triple D, look at rec. Look directly at rec.
He's the mayor of Flavortown! The mayor!
I look to the camera and say, drive-bys, dumpster fires, and dives. He'd be a great host for this show.
He looks at the camera and sticks his tongue out. What
Oh, wonderful. Maybe he'll teach us how to make something nasty later on.
I want to try what you make. Yes, please.
It's your funeral.
I mean, this guy might be coming on the ship with us.
He's a helper's hand.
Y'all, I made some triple basted donkey batter for you. Drink up, nerds.
Oh, no.
This is wonderful.
Okay.
So you guys want to hire him down in the future?
I'll pay him for today. My thought process is, I don't know if maybe trying to play low incognito through the town with a predator chasing us, having Dribble D doing Jaeger bombs in the middle of the street would be a good idea.
You will never guess who I just found these potato rings.
That's
We're
probably
trying
a
to all
good
be
idea.
Quiet, and all we hear is like crunching behind us.
This
gonna
crunch is out of bounds.
I'm gonna give him, we'll say, just 10 gold for now, and it'll be one of those, in case we don't come back for a day or two, he can just kind of chill and maybe make some
Oh, you got it, my friend.
Well, that's exciting.
This guy is amazing.
Triple D heads back behind the curtain, throwing the 10 gold up in the air and catching it with his other hand. Alright, so the Mercane who's disappeared. Triple D, I need someone else now to give me a D20 roll, please.
Please be another 16.
Yeah.
Aw.
It's just another Triple D.
All 19 entries are all some version.
Instead of red, he's just like the black version. now.
Triple T here, I make tea for you.
I'm Triple D.
The helper's hands are really entertaining and can really add to Rack. I'm just saying,
Yeah, just like Jashini.
right? Imagine the two of them putting on a show.
Oh, I would imagine. Sorry, I just imagined it.
I'd prefer not to.
It's like a rating. It's like a rating free episode.
Stepping out from behind the curtain in some type of heavy-looking steel armor is mostly covered from head to toe in it, sporting what looks like a large metallic-looking cannon-like device in both hands. Up at the top, a glass faceplate, and inside, he looks to be lizard folk. Stepping out is Grizdom.
Grisdom. Oh,
Wow.
Is this my brother?
Grisdom.
The accompanying paperwork reads, Grizdom spent years working as a patroller before being discharged for reasons he'd rather not share. He wears a prototype Wyld space suit that allows him to survive its harsh atmosphere. Despite having left the patrollers, this lizard folk still has a love for combat, using it as a means to prove himself to those he serves as a hand.
Ooh.
Seems like a good spotter for you, Rinkaz.
I want to give him a salute and 100% respect and say, evening.
Well met.
So, what's your specialty?
You come here often, or?
This suit helps me protect those around me, out in wild space. Equally, if we run into trouble, he slaps the side of his large cannon-like weapon.
What kind of gun is that?
Oh, goodness.
Big fucking.
He explains that it fires out projectiles that deal forcible damage.
I I look to everybody and say, just one.
It'll
Anyway, I
also
don't
knock them off their feet, he says with a grin.
I'm not trying to buy up the whole shop, but this guy's right up my alley, and I think I'd like to have a giant lizard with a huge fucking gun to shoot people.
I'm down.
Yes, take it from experience. Having a lizard with a huge gun to shoot people is really helpful.
It's helped us
Oh wow,
once or
you know
twice.
another?
Buddy. Oh, buddy.
Just make sure he doesn't shoot you.
Oh.
You know, just
Kimbo
ask,
knows from experience.
ask him how much he charges.
Yeah, how much?
I cringe at Kimo's words and nod and say, how much for your services, buddy?
14 gold pieces a day.
Ooh.
It's expensive.
What do you guys think? You think maybe just a day or two in case of anything crazy?
I'll split it with you, so it's not horrible with somebody.
Yeah, I can help out too.
I don't.
You are all just made of money.
I look to him and say, how about a day or two, and if things still a little hairy, we'll pitch in for another day or two after that.
However long you want, as long as you pay, my services are yours.
sugar.
Give him a salute and say, all right, it's fine with me. I'll pay the first 14 then. I'm trying to save money, but those predators are goddamn terrifying.
It's true.
He decides to join up with you guys and takes
Hell yeah.
the 14 gold.
Ooh.
All right, that was 3. I need one more d20 roll.
No! Hiya!
9.
Actual 9. Let's see here. Stepping out from behind the curtain. Let me pull up my list here. Looks to be a genius.
Oh.
He is wearing what looks to be a blue lab coat and has a couple utensils in his hand that he is shifting back into his pockets. He seems to be wearing goggles on his face. Oh, hello, he says. It's nice to meet all of you. My name is Tesler. And Tesler introduces himself.
Oh, okay. Let's see here.
The accompanying paperwork reads, this genius has a propensity for blabbering. And as you're reading the paperwork, he is continuing to talk. Feeling unfulfilled with his profession and worrying that his vast amount of knowledge wasn't being shared with a layman, Tesler decided instead to share his brain with those he travels with as a hand. Make sure to pack some extra cloth or something in case you need to stuff it in this guy's mouth. Otherwise, your ears might fall off.
Oh, wow. As a reaction, you can roll deception with disadvantage. If you succeed, it's as the new persuasion check. Well, I turn to the rest of the group as I'm sure he continues talking. I mean, we could use him to get into that library place, but I don't think he can help us do any hacking.
Do you know hacking, Tesla?
Hacking. I am not proficient with the technomancy of hacking abilities. However, I believe that if we were to go to the data atelier, we could learn quite a few things about such a subject. I have plenty of other genius that I was associated with who were particularly working in the technomancy fields.
So you can get us in with connection?
Oh, certainly. I could tell you all about them. I've been known for, I believe I was friends with them for 12.5 years.
Oh, the numbers, honey, no, we don't need the numbers.
I have plenty of connections, of course.
We'll think about it, okay? It's nice to meet you, and Aesop kind of pushes him back into the...
Very nice to meet you. Please consider me, and Aesop pushes him behind the curtain.
He seems smart. I'd like to talk with him at some time. Yeah, maybe on that vacation.
You'll be here for months, my friend.
I feel like Cause would have been friends with him. Or eaten him.
No.
Or one or the other. You all, I might be mistaken, but I don't think Flavortown's a real place.
I
don't
mean,
think
we
it has
haven't
a name.
explored all of the Twixt yet.
You
so-
you can't be the mayor of a place that isn't real. What are you
Make
talking
make a perception check, Aesop.
Oh god. You see on a nearby map, Flavortown. Thank you, Subject 22. That's 21.
It's the shape of a damn floating Dorito.
You look over to the counter and see the genius of the counter shaking his head towards you.
But hey, it's your guys' gold. I'm sure he could whip up something delicious and terribly unhealthy for us.
I
Can we
whispered
go
to
to
Aesop.
Flavor Town after this place?
Sun Kong, it's just better to let him live knowing that there's a Flavor Town. I can't bring myself.
It's
I
not a
whispered
no.
to Aesop, you know, it's not far from alchemic properties. Maybe he might actually make something useful that you could replicate.
Oh, alchemy does have several things in common with the pastime of brewing and fermentation, but they are fundamentally different skills.
What about making spicy mayonnaise instead of regular mayonnaise?
I think my mayonnaise is just fine as it is. Thank you very much. Would you like some?
No.
All right then.
You guys do have a tavern on your ship that doubles as a brewery center.
That's right. We just don't have anyone that's proficient in like brewing stuff, I think.
I mean, now we do.
Now that we don't have AG, but yes, now.
Oh, AG,
Triple D does give you a +2 bonus.
Listen, I'm sure he's going to perform adequately with whatever it is you folks want him for. But honestly, right now, I think the big lizard's probably more helpful. But you do you. You do you.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that I'm more useful. Oh.
I mean, either interpretation is correct. So, yes.
So, just so we're clear, we're going to Flavor Town.
You know what? Glace, you're the leader of this here gang. Put it on the list, you know.
It's
next
on
to-
that list. Yes, it's
Ne-
on the list. Right next to Ringha's hometown.
Exactly, yes. It's on the list. Does not exist. All right.
Sun Kong winks.
What?
I wonder if Subject 22 would like to go to Flavor Town. He likes to consume.
Everywhere is Flavorville.
Oh.
Alright, so you guys hired Grizdom. You put Dribble D on the back burner. Didn't buy her from the Mercane. And also pushed Tesla back the fuck behind the curtain.
Yeah.
What a productive time we've had here.
So, maybe we should check around with Urina, and if she doesn't have anything for us, I'm afraid our next option is Shady's Alley. Let's just hope that Urina has what we need.
Hopefully.
Alright.
Maybe we can invite her to Flavor Town.
Well,
I agree with this. She seems very talented.
Oh my goodness.
Quite.
You guys head down to Urina's place.
Yes, check in with Urina.
Alright.
Were you able to find anything on this fellow? Or, again, long shot, the Leah woman?
You guys head back to the Development Corporation and meet up with Leah.
Or Urina, rather.
Urina, yeah, sorry.
No, we
Oh,
totally
we found her!
Look at that!
Hey, look! Whoa!
You guys-
Jason.
Found her, Urina!
You know of a Leah, just not the Leah you're looking for. You guys meet up with Urina, and I'm going to make a roll here.
And it's a natural 20. Wow, she found everything we needed.
Wow. Good job.
I think Infidi left his headset next to his microphone. Got a little bit of an echo.
There you go.
All right. Urena reconvenes with the rest of you, and you left her to look up both Leah and Frax, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. She turns to you all and says, this Frax fellow, I don't know if you have any other leads, but I wasn't able to dig up anything on him.
Damn.
As for this Leah figure, there is a Leah in the system.
You're kidding me.
It does mention at least her more recent whereabouts was in the Felicity Tower. It's a relatively tall steel building that goes up some floors, I believe 150.
Did we go there before?
Is that the one where we had the showdown with the Syndicate goons?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. Well, Aesop's never been there, so...
I was at least able to pull that information amount up, but exactly which floor and which building she's in, I'm unsure.
Well, it's better than nothing, honestly. It's more than I expected.
Hopefully you can at least go off of that. Is this someone who has broken the law and you're looking to bring in?
No, we're actually... I know it sounds silly. We're actually not 100% certain. While we're on behalf of a third party. Yes, let's just leave it at that.
Oh, well, very well. That was about as much as I could dig up. I'm sorry. If I had more time, I may have been able to collect more information, but things are busy here.
That's
I provided what I could.
perfectly all right. We could maybe check in with the building owners and see if she's at these Felicity Towers.
Just keep in mind that the Felicity Towers is more of a premium living quarters. You would need a card to get in. But you can at least ask the front desk.
Well, that sounds perfectly reasonable. I think I might be able to cook up a disguise or something like that.
What if we were looking to live there? What if I wanted to just look at a room and we had,
That sounds like more of the information I would like to hear from your group. Peaceful ways of getting your objectives cleared, yes. If you have other plans, I'm sure you'll have plenty of success with them, but I like hearing that you would just go and ask to take part in one of the rooms on the floors.
Aesop's already digging a disguise out of his backpack. He's still got the noble clothes from Halcyon that he never got to use.
Oh.
Yes, typically the rooms on Felicity Tower are reserved more for the higher echelon of members here in Prime City. A lot of the genius members who work in the deeper floors of the Meister Mind quarters. However, again, you could check with the front desk and perhaps a little bit of persuasion could at least get you somewhere inside. I'm unsure how to tackle things from there, at least from a legal standpoint.
Holy crap, do we need to go back and buy that babbling idiot from the Helping Hand?
Honey, everybody can be friends with you if you just talk to them.
I agree.
I'll let you two handle this then.
I like talking.
You're very good at it.
Well,
thank you.
Urena, you've uncovered honestly more than we expected, so thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to help us.
Of course. You people helped me in the past once or twice, so it's the least I could do.
And if we happen to hear anything more about these disappearing ships, we'll try to loop back around on that.
Yes, please do. If any of the information I shared sounds like something you want to check into and bring me more information about the surroundings of it, please, by all means.
Very well.
She waves and kind of continues back on.
So, Glace, what do you think?
I think that we go to Felicity Towers, request to view what's available, and that, I mean, it should be easy from there,
Right. And I could be the wealthy Kinku landowner that is just looking for a penthouse. Yes, and I'm an invalid, you see, so I need the wheelchair. They'll have pity on me. and I communicate through beeps, like I can make the wheelchair beep, and it's perfect. It's the perfect plan. I'm glad you thought of it. Let's go.
I mean, we could always just rely on Stitches. He was pretty helpful.
Stitches is dead.
Yeah. Let's not speak of that. My disguises are great, I'll have you know.
What did Tesla give as a bonus, though? I saw persuasion, but I didn't read it. I'm sorry.
If we make a persuasion check once per day, we can make a deception check at advantage to supplement that as a reaction.
For characters who are pretty good at deception checks.
Well, my deception, I have a +9 to it, so...
Jesus.
Holy shit!
I mean, I do have moments where I roll super low.
Never.
Yeah, I'm also +9's persuasion performance, +5 deception.
Oh my goodness.
So,
why do I always try to lie to people? You all lie to people from now on.
Because you're better at it. But
I see what you did there. That's a successful insight check against you, my friend. It's flattering me.
Between me and Nvidia, we should be good.
Sure.
Okay.
we did good with the whole talent manager thing last time.
Oh, that was wonderful.
I mean, should we split up? Aesop kind of cringes as he says that, but...
No.
We have a predator after us. I don't think we should.
Alright, fair enough. Maybe the rest of us will just wait outside while you all handle it?
We are stars. They may know us, so why can't we all go?
Oh, good point.
Yeah, the Wyld Tycoons need a base of operations in Neogokyo, and they want to film a huge party episode here. It's not really out of reach. I mean, we are kind of on gigantic screens around town.
I mean, Dribble D could help throw down. We could go to Flavor Town then.
Get them all to Flavor Town.
Maybe not mention party in a living tower. Like, people live there, so I don't know how excited they'll be to try to rent out a room to people who just want to party. Maybe just like a nice in-between
Vacation
penthouse.
home.
Yes.
For when we're not adventuring.
In Aesop, you don't have to disguise yourself unless you want to now.
No, I guess I won't.
We can still wheel you around.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean,
Best 100 gold I ever spent.
if it makes you feel better, I could be the one pushing the wheelchair around. I can be your special help.
I like it.
Before.
I could push him as well, Grizdom says.
It's fine, Grizdom. Make Rimcast do it.
Each lizard guy's got one handle on the wheelchair.
I mean, it gives me quite an entourage, doesn't it?
I like that idea. I look to Grizdom and say it's all strategy. We always have some sort of half-assed, half-baked plan just to roll with. If not, we're actually pretty effective.
This is a good plan. Let's go.
Alright, you guys heading towards Felicity Square, where the Felicity Towers is located?
Sure.
Alright. You guys begin heading that way. During Season 1, you went there before. You remember it being a relatively nice-looking tower.
Ooh.
The square and accompanying tower serve as Neogokyo's premier housing for those who live in a more lavish lifestyle. This 150-floor pinnacle of steel structure stands as a testament to Neogokyan engineering. Some of the planetoid's finest minds are located within these vertical walls.
Fancy stuff.
Hang on just a second here. I'm going to reveal some stuff and then move the map.
I think we'd have to go through quite a few adventures before we'd actually be able to afford a place like this.
If we're gonna need Mean Gene here, I'd like to, as we're walking, change into my captain's hat, goggles,
You guys see NVD
ridiculous shirt,
changing
baggy pants.
his clothes.
Hold on, get the spray, the vocal spray ready.
I'd have to, kind of get warmed up. This takes a lot out of me to do.
All right.
Thanks for...
If you guys will zoom down, kind of towards the southern end of the map here, you will see your characters.
Oh, look at these nice flowers.
Before we walk in, I look over to Aesop and Chemo, and even Nvidia, and say, the front desk clerk's head is inside of our ship, actually.
What?
He got mouthy with us when we were trying to get upstairs, so we tried to fight him, and I literally bit his head off.
What?
Because what?
Don't you remember the robot we were trying to get inside? The
I was
robot
not.
at the front desk.
I was not here for that.
No. Yeah, because we couldn't get upstairs, and then we were a few of the syndicate were downstairs, snooping around. So we tried to get upstairs, and the robot got pissy with us. So I just reached over and rolled a natural 20 and bit his damn head off. We actually still have it on the ship. We were using it for junk parts.
Oh, right then.
Dear.
Let's stay in the back, you and me, Rinkaz. Let's stay towards the back.
Up ahead, you see a narrow hallway. There is a closed steel door off to the right side. At the distance before a set of small descending stairs, you see what looks to be one of those cyber golems. You also, at the far end, see what looks to be like a glass steel display panel showing the various floors of the building itself of Felicity Tower, as well as what looks to be a Newman who has a soft-looking, almost slightly translucent skin underneath a very blackish, almost inky look to her. Her hair droops back and frays curling up. Although you do notice as you close in that her hair isn't actually made of hair itself, but rather looks to be of this similar, almost like a pseudopod or almost like a tentacly look.
Weird.
I have a question. Did we ever get the other name for the synth pit from Decker?
It's the Peacekeepers, right? That was what he was alluding to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing.
You would assume, yes.
So maybe we should try the first. You know how maybe we should say we are here for Leah. I mean, we don't have to, but what if she just rings? We don't even know her name. Never mind. Let's go look for a room.
All right, yeah, ball's in your guys' court. You can move your tokens wherever you'd like. Make your checks where you'd like.
I do want to. The store right here. You have to have a key card to go inside of it?
There is a panel on the door that looks as though it is rectangularly shaped and looks like about hand-sized.
Didn't we have? So we didn't keep. How did we get in here last time? We didn't have a card.
I think we forced our way in.
Oh, okay.
And yes, in terms of Felicity Towers, last time you got in here was by Rinkaz biting the head off of the robot attendant at the front. You step up to the door, Glosse, as you pass it, and notice that on the center of the door there looks to be like this hand-sized, just black glass screen. The door doesn't shift or move or anything, and you don't see anything that looks like a keyhole or like a lever or anything to pull it open. The cyber golem turns as you guys begin passing and just sort of takes a look at each of you and continues just sort of monitoring the area.
Wink.
Hello, dear.
Hello, she says, as you step up.
We are here to look. We're interested in a room, a house, a home, a place of pleasure while we're on this planet.
Oh, I see. Are you residents of Neogokyo?
Oh, we're on and offers.
So, not here full time?
No, but we would like to have a place here full time.
Do you have a place of business here?
At the Meister Minds. They
What
work with them.
job is that? The title, she says, tapping at one of the glass screens.
Testes for experiments. Just ask X22.
I would say make a deception check, Lasse.
Okay. That's gonna be a 23.
Ooh, goddamn.
She looks up and then back down and then looks back up. Test experiments. Not very high ranking.
We test the experiments. We're testers.
Testers.
Yes.
What field do you test?
What field? The experimental field. Portals. Oof, don't get me started on it.
Portals, she says.
Yeah, we don't know too much about it because the more information we're given, the less we need to go in it with a clear mind, with a clear head, and just test from there.
This is already basic.
So the genius can get all the information, pure information as possible.
Well, I could show you some of the first floor rooms so you could take a look at them and decide as we run through some paperwork.
I look at everyone and see what they, what they.
What do you guys think?
Maybe I'm talking into the sending stone or the communicator. Maybe we should just ask about Leah. If she's on the record, then
Okay.
she's probably in the system.
Okay.
Yes, that sounds wonderful. You know, we have a friend here as well. Maybe, I don't know what floor, what availability all your floors have, but if you can get us next to her like neighbors, oh, that would be so cute. Leah.
Oh, very good. What room is she in?
You know, I don't remember. Can you call her and just tell her that we're here to visit and then look around?
I need a room to be able to contact her.
Oh.
We have 150 floors. Lots of people, residents here.
Ask if she can call her by name.
Well, can't you just call her by name? Don't you have a directory of some sort?
We do, but for security purposes, we would need to confirm the room number.
Oh. You can't just call her and tell her that she has visitors?
Unfortunately, it's company policy.
Oh, I
want to use something on her. I would like to use
a crowbar. I apply the crowbar.
Rinkaz bites her head off.
I mean,
Okay.
Gently.
For the duration, you have advantage on all charisma checks directed at one creature of your choice that isn't hostile towards you.
Grizdom turns towards you, Rinkaz, and says, "What are they doing?"
they're trying to set up a way to get up top.
Okay.
Who are we looking for?
I give him brief information. I don't try to go to too many details.
He turns and shows you now that the cannon that he had has been attached to his back. We can pass it off as a propulsion system, he says, running two fingers in the air.
Oh my god.
Oh, I like.
He nods.
I don't think we need to force our way in, gentlemen.
Just pointing it out to you all.
I would like to use Charm Person on her.
Alright. What do you need me to roll as you begin casting Charm Person?
Let's see. I need you to roll.
She watches as you begin to cast this, but doesn't seem to pick up that you're casting a spell.
Okay. It's a DC 17 Wisdom saving.
Are you trying to do this stealthily at all as you do this?
Yes, can I?
Yes, please. Make a stealth check.
That's gonna be I could have sworn I was more sneakier than that. A 14?
A 14?
Yeah.
You begin using your vocal talents to weave the magic through your speech. You watch as there is a glimmer in her eyes. What do you say after this?
Well, I'm trying to convince her. Oh, we won't tell anyone. We won't tell your company. We're all friends here. Just call Leah. She'll know who we are.
Okay, give me a moment to check the listings. As she says that, you watch as the cyber golem begins to move now down the stairs.
Okay.
Wheel me forward.
I start pushing him forward.
The cyber golem holds a hand up to you all. Everyone,
Hello?
please hold your positions. This woman has come under magical means.
Excuse me, don't you have a ramp for wheelchairs?
No
A little
ramp,
a little-
unfortunately.
a little assistance, please, then?
1 second, sir.
Damn. Okay.
Make some type of persuasion check, Aesop.
Okay.
At disadvantage.
Oh, good.
Can I assist to make it neutral?
Sure. I mean, what do you say to assist?
Oh dear! You need help, buddy? How can we possibly get you in here? How are we supposed to let you in here if you can't even access the building? Oh my god! Help this man!
Okay, that's a neutral roll.
Oh my god! That's an 18.
My god.
I can sue, you know.
He turns looking at the group who is standing up at the front and also at the Newman at the desk. Everyone please remain where you are. Hold for just a few moments. He begins stepping over towards you, Aesop. Assistance is on its way, sir. Or ma'am.
It's about time. And I look back to Rinkaz and wink.
Make it.
Oh no, he's gonna misinterpret that. Fuck. Okay, it's too late. I already said I'm doing it.
I lick my lips and rear my fangs for a moment and nod.
Oh. Oh god.
The cyber golem steps up to the metal chair that Aesop's in and looks over to you, Rinkaz, who was kind of pushing it.
I will assist from here. Excuse me, sir.
Stall him for as long as you can.
Assist? Oh. Can you show me where you're going to take him?
Down these stairs, sir.
Oh. So you're telling me, whoa.
It is not far, sir.
I look to Hush and I say, can you write this down?
Hush begins fumbling for a pen and paper.
We'll have to figure out what violation that is, but if I'm correct, this building is in violation, sir. If there's no ramp even aiding him, I'm so sorry, sir. I wouldn't have taken you here. This establishment is not up to code.
I've seen more worthwhile buildings in the gutter. This is unacceptable treatment.
Make a deception check, Rinkaz.
Can I aid him because I am trained in that?
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Oh my god, this is already a comedy of errors.
Oh.
We should have just come in and asked and...
It's 18.
It's a tragedy.
Oh my god.
I kind of... while this is happening, I'm looking to Glosse like, go, do something!
Yeah,
Do something!
Can you hurry up and we've been in this, we're really in a hurry, please.
She had stopped from the cyber golem telling her to do so, but she looks back down and continues running a finger through her list of names. One second, please. The cyber golem, Rinkaz, you watch as his eyes shift back and forth rapidly.
You are correct. There is a stipulation in 46.5. We could be found in error for accessibility. I will be sure to bring this up with the superintendents. Thank you for your perceptive eyes in this matter.
It's okay, and I put my finger up to my lips and say, you know, part of protocol is maybe not letting that get through. I don't want you to get in trouble. Being I assume a new employee here, I wouldn't want anything to fall upon your head, sir.
Of course.
So
if
maybe...
I were to be in violation, so be it, but we prefer to have the most accessible, lavish living quarters here. I apologize, sir, he says, turning back to you as Aesop. Please allow me to assist you down the stairs.
Well, it's about time.
As he finishes saying this, Glosse, the attendant, looks back up to you and says, "She's on room 128.
Oh, perfect. Can you show us up, please? Or can we just, can you open it for us to go? I don't, don't live here yet.
Could call her, she says.
Yes, please.
Of course. She taps the screen. At this point, the cyber golem, Aesop, begins literally picking your metal chair up off of the ground.
I got something I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull a slip and Jimmy here. I'm gonna do a slip and fall. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay.
And
he's taking a step towards getting ready to take you down the stairs.
I want to shift my weight so that it looks like he has knocked me out of the chair, and I want to convincingly roll down the stairs.
Oh no.
Okay.
I don't know if this is like acrobatics or like deception or
You,
like what. But
you give me both an acrobatics and a deception check. And
okay,
you can
I
use your
choose-
inspiration on either one of those.
I'm gonna choose to use my inspiration on the deception. So here
Okay.
comes the deception. Oh god damn it! I
Ooh.
didn't even need it. The deception is 21,
Okay.
and the acrobatics.
Hold on.
Oh,
Reroll that.
oh,
Oh,
Oh, shit.
oh,
amazing!
oh,
Nice, Kimo! That's amazing.
Oh,
Okay.
No.
It's not terrible. It's a 15.
Ooh.
So the deception is 21 and the acrobatics is 15.
So, you feel like you do this relatively convincingly, Aesop. What happens is he has, like, kind of lifted the chair up from the sides with both arms and is beginning to step down the steps.
I mean, I want to make it look like he basically just dumped me out of the wheelchair. And I roll down the stairs and I start grabbing my ankle. And I'm, you oaf! You buffoon!
Oh
you
my goodness!
You absolute piece of trash! I have witnesses! I will see that you are decommissioned, sir!
He immediately sets the steel wheelchair back down and begins headed down the steps. Apologies, sir. My apologies. Let
You
me
pick-
assist.
You pick me up, take me back up those stairs, and try again!
He gently grabbing you with his kind of steel muscly arms begins to pick you up, apologizing along the way in his robotic tone.
I look to Hush and I shrug.
She's like trying not to look. She's incredibly embarrassed.
Try not to move from me. May have injuries.
As this is happening, the attendant looks back up to you, Glacé. She's not answering, unfortunately.
Oh, can we? Bummer.
Can I help you in any other way?
Yeah, show us around.
Okay. She begins to shift out from behind the desk, pulling a card in hand that seems to bear the symbol of Felicity Tower. If you would please follow me, she says. Meanwhile, the cyber golem is helping Aesop back up to his chair.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable!
I will be found in violation code 8145. Apologies, sir. I deserve all of the punishment.
That's damn right you do. Now
As-
try it again.
As this is happening, who is going with the attendant and how stealthy are you trying to be?
Oh, Kimo? He was breaking up for me.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Kimo?
Well,
He can kind of hear you. It's a little bit broken up.
I'll go with the attendant. I'll be stealthy.
How stealthy are you going to be? Did you fall out of Roll20? Okay, there you are.
Yeah, there he is.
Are you using any abilities or just trying to kind of stealthily move around the corner there?
No abilities as of yet.
You know what? I've changed my mind. I don't wheel me out of this godforsaken building.
Apologies, sir.
Take me to the door, you worthless hunk of junk.
He begins to wheel you back that way. The rest of you, all who are going with the attendant, Sun Kong, you made your check. Kimo, are you making a check? Stealth check?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think I gotta stay with the menagerie out front just in case. Think you guys got it?
I mean, I don't think we can table talk this. What would your character do, you know?
Glacé, are you going along with him?
I'm going with the attendant.
Are you trying to be stealthy?
Yeah.
Okay. Please
Yeah,
make me a stealth check.
It's gonna be That's a 12.
He turns and points at you, Glase, and says, "Please, everyone, stay where you are. I will be right back after assisting this injured individual.
Okay, we'll be right here.
Do not move, elsewise you are in violation of code." And he strings off quite a few numbers as he continues pushing you, Aesop, down the hallway.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I want to do my best ambulance chaser routine during all of this.
All right. He essentially is going to push you back out to the front, Aesop. "Do you need me to call a spelljammer, sir?"
No, it's fine. It's fine. And hey, look, I know you're just doing your job, all right?
"I will
Here.
likely be decommissioned for this incident. I am very sorry for any injuries you have persisted, sir."
Well, tell them to make it quick. Wouldn't want you to suffer.
"Of course. I do not feel pain. It does not matter whether I am decommissioned. However, I would like to do my job better. Perhaps the next version."
Oh, no.
Aesop does feel kind of bad.
All right.
Look,
Listen
Look,
here,
Ross,
buddy.
this guy.
Everyone who is going... Rinkaz, what were you doing?
I'm going to. I look to Aesop as he's being wheeled away and say, "We'll be waiting right here for you, sir. Waiting till you get back to aid you down the stairs. Prop."
See that you do, my manservants.
I quick turn and look to Glase, and I kind of like gesture. I'm like, "Disguise yourself."
I kind of look at the attendant and I just,
Well, she's charmed by you, right?
she is, yes.
She's heading towards these stairs, towards what looks to be like one of those arcane lifts.
I'll talk into our earpiece. Oh, I will once we get to the other. We can do it once we are out of sight of that.
So, Kimo, Glase, Sun Kong follow along with the attendant. She gets to what looks to be a lift that is entered by two shifting, or actually one large shifting steel door that moves out of the way as you guys approach. "What floor did you want to take a look at?"
The one with 100 by 128, please.
"Oh, very well," she says, and she pushes the key card that she has up against the wall. "Yes."
Okay. Yeah, no, carry on.
"Very well."
Well, you know what? I can take the key card, and can you check maybe the, very top floor for me to see if there's any rooms there available?
"I could do that for you, but please return the card when you are done."
Oh, honey, yes. Thank you. I'll just take that.
"I will get off. You will get off, and I will stay on and ride the elevator up."
And if the very top floor doesn't have it, check the next floor down, okay? And if the next floor down doesn't have it, just go ahead and check the next 5 floors down, okay?
"Very well."
Oh, you're such a doll, thank you.
All right.
Clever
The
birds.
rest of the group following the Newman attendant enter into a lift that you can see out of the corner of your eye, Rinkaz. The cyber golem has led you guys out, Team B, out to the front of Felicity Towers. Is there anything you guys are doing?
Is the golem gone?
The golem wheels you up and asks for assistance, and after you tell that you don't need anything, he would begin to shift back towards his destination over this way.
Well, I'm not proud of the work I do, Hush, but it's sometimes what we have to get things done around here. I hope I didn't embarrass you too much.
No, it's fine.
Oh, I feel like this is as bad as her finding out that I'm literally a giant lycanthrope monster.
I think it's funny that this is the first thing that she actually gets to see you do. As you throw yourself down the flight of stairs.
You're a shitlord, then.
fucking do a slip and fall. Hey, Nvidia, buddy, pal, or sorry, Mean Gene.
Yeah.
Oh man. Can you look after Hush for a moment? I have everything I need to meet them on the floor whatever floor that they're on.
Absolutely. Why don't you come over here?
Did he do this in college as well? I say to Hush.
Did you, NVD? Was Mean Gene a part of him?
It might be a party trick. It might be a tavern trick. I don't. We could say yes.
It's canon.
Mean Gene comes out when he drinks.
Mean Gene comes out when he's socially awkward.
When he
She
parties.
writes down on her arcane tablet, whatever it is, I like it.
Oh,
She kind of
well,
she doesn't make any large noise, but you kind of sense that she's chuckling a bit.
well, have fun and stay safe, you kids. Just try to, don't do what I do. Do as I say, not as I do, etc., etc. And I unfurl my wings.
All right, you shoot into the air.
Yeah, and as I do so, I'm gonna touch my earpiece and say, "Room and floor."
Let's see. Room 128, floor
Floor 128.
Oh, floor 128.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
It was like a room 7.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You begin
all right.
shooting into the air, Aesop, headed up that way.
I mean, I do the best I can to count floors. I know it's 150 floors high, right?
Yes, make make some type of check, like a base intelligence check.
Okay. Yeah. All right. It's not great. It's a 10, but I could count. I could count to 22, right?
There is an area of the building that sort of opens up like outside patio for you to swoop in on the different levels on. You fly up and begin counting, and at some point, with the rain sputtering in your face and a little bit of the shock of some of the lightning strikes, not too far off as you continue ascending this just true verticality to a height that you've never been before, even when you were at Scourge. It's slightly daunting.
This would be pretty dizzying.
You almost feel like you lose track of your counting for a second, but keep going. Like, okay, I think it was at 89, 90.
Shit. Well, my idea was I would start at 150 and count downward. Because that would be less of a chance for me to lose count.
Gotcha. You feel like maybe you misplaced number 2, but you keep flying it nonetheless.
Okay.
The other group, you guys, the lift seems to move quickly as far as you can tell. You feel a shifting underneath your feet. And it shifts, slowing down. You feel the force of gravity slowing down as it stops. The metal door shifts open, and you see, appearing in common lettering on the glass panel, a 128. We're here. Glacé, you're on mute.
Does she have a name tag on?
She does not.
Oh, thank you so much. What was your name again?
Christai.
Why does this always happen to me? I don't. Thank you so much. Have fun. Good luck looking for our potential rooms.
Of course, she says.
Thank you.
You guys exit. It seems to take a couple minutes for the metal door to close, but she just seems to wait for it to close behind her. You guys head off. From here, it just seems like a steel hallway, Glacé, leading down to a visible room 7.
Okay.
It's probably like at the end of the hallway, but you can see it from here. It's not like a far hallway.
Okay.
Glossy, Sun Kong, and Chemo, you guys all begin heading that way.
Yeah, we're in Aesop and in VD Rincaz. We're all at the floor.
If you could make some sort of signal at the window, if no one's there to signal me in.
Oh, yes. Just throw dancing lights up at the nearest window we can see.
Okay.
Oh, like a hallway. I was thinking a room window, but hallway window makes way more sense.
Make a perception check, Aesop.
All right.
Glossy, as you're doing this, Sun Kong or Chemo, you guys head up to the front door of room 7. What do you do?
I'm gonna investigate the door, see if it's been pressed open or whatever, see if there's any traps, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so make a perception check then.
I'm gonna keep watch.
Alright, Sun Kong, you equally make a perception check.
Oh boy. 12.
Crit fail.
Oh boy.
Bad boy cards.
Bad boy card.
I get a bad boy card for you, Sun Kong.
Smells cooking in one of the rooms. Damn, I'm hungry. Knocks on the door.
Did I get both the hungry babies? God.
Let's see here.
It's a good band name. Glossy and Hungry Babies.
I rolled a 20.
2 hungry babies. 2 big hungry babies.
Sun Kong, you are overtaken by a smell of someone cooking one of the nearby rooms. And despite having eaten not too long ago, the sensation of food you have a bottomless pit for a stomach. You feel like you could eat more. It draws your attention too much to really pay attention back down the floor, keeping an eye out. Chemo, you do, with a press against the steel door, see that it is pushed open and unlocked. You do not notice any visible traps. It's dark inside. Aesop, you reach the window area, and you know that if you were to continue circling around the building, there would be an open patio where you could land on this floor. With your perception check, though, you notice the dancing lights and reach the same level. You're able to see in at the sort of like side window area. And was that a natty 20 or a unnatural?
Unnatural.
You are able to see, as you level off with the floor, kind of just hovering there with your three-dimensional wings, that a figure has shifted into the elevator that the attendant was in as the steel door is closing.
Oh? Do I... But, so this is the floor that Glossy hypothetically is on, correct? Because she made a signal for me?
Yes, you notice that there is the attendant standing at the far end in the lift, and as the steel door is closing, there is a figure who shifts inside quickly.
Oh, shit.
The steel door finishes closing.
Oh, Glossy, I just saw someone run into the elevator.
What? No, we're all here.
No, like someone, a mysterious figure, kind of just quickly, like, they look suspicious, I don't know.
Oh.
Is the elevator going back down to the lower floor?
No, honey, it's going up, all the way up to the top floor.
The top floor?
Yes, and then the following 6 floors after that.
Shit, okay, Aesop will take off like a rocket up to the top floor and see if he can see the elevator from where he's at.
As you do that, Glossy, make a perception check.
That's gonna be a 15.
You notice as the hallway kind of ends at the far end from the elevator you got off of, it's like T-shaped and opens up into a left and right. As you peer down at the end of the hallway, you do see only a few feet away at the end of a short hall, just around the corner, another lift.
Oh. Okay. I'll tell Aesop that just in case he needs to know that there's more than one lift.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead and knock on this door.
Do it.
Okay.
Chemo has done so, and the door has shifted open. It is unlocked and dark inside.
Oh. Shit.
That's not normal. Can you see anything in there, Chemo?
Chemo, with your 12 perception check, you peer in using your dark vision, which I believe you have. And as you peer in, you see a modest living quarters, but there's probably a couple rooms inside, although you can't see their contents. The doors are closed. Doesn't seem to be anyone living in here or currently in here with that check.
I wanted to listen inside. I rolled a 19 for another perception.
You hear nothing other than the quiet sound of the pattering rain against the glass of the wall.
Seems like it's empty.
Hello, Leah.
There's no answer.
Alderman sent us.
Nothing.
Who knows if that would be threatening or not, too.
Hello, honey. We're here from Alderman. We'll kill you.
We're gonna go inside.
Should we check to make sure that nothing's trapped? It was unlocked. No.
Chemo was looking at it. It seemed okay, right, Chemo?
Best as I can tell.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk in.
Sun Kong, you step in. You have your tattoo, correct? Gives you vision in the dark?
Yes.
Make a perception check as you step into the dark room.
Six.
You step into the room, Sun Kong, peering around. It's pretty dark in here, and you're still getting used to the tattoo on your forehead that shifts, opening an eye and glowing as you're able to sense around, even in darkness. You peer around, trying not to trip over anything in the room or things in general as you're trying to be quiet and shift in. And you don't notice as your leg brisks across a wire that snaps. There is a massive explosion that begins from within the room and pushes through the steel door on the outside. Sun Kong, Glace, and Chemo, I need you guys to please make dexterity saving throws.
Oh no! Oh no!
16.
Also, Sun Kong, I need you to roll a d12 and subtract that from your total for your bad luck card.
Oh, bad boy card.
I want to see what the sweet D12 is.
It's a 12. Roll it, boy. Oh, there it is. Oh, that's not bad.
So, totals, everybody.
24.
13.
15.
Not bad.
There is a fiery explosion that rockets the level that you guys are currently on. Glace, you pass. Chemo, what was your check?
15.
Sun Kong, yours was lower.
13. But don't I have something I can re-roll? I forget. I'm just looking at.
You have evasion, right?
Yeah, monks have evasion, but I believe that's if you are able to take half damage, you would take no damage.
But
Oh,
I think
that's what that is.
I think it's also if you would take full damage, you take half.
Yeah.
So in that case, somehow, Sun Kong, you are able to avoid the explosive explosion that erupts somewhere within the living quarters here, and just within a split second fills the entire room, and you take halved 15 points of fire damage.
Bad, not bad.
Chemo, do you have a similar ability?
Yeah.
You take halved. That was 15. That was already halved. So 15 points, Sun Kong. This is already halved. Chemo, you take 17 points of fire damage. And then Glossa, you made your check. So you equally only take 20 points of fire damage.
Woo!
Huh.
As the steel door is blown back and fire erupts through the room. Aesop, as you are quickly ascending the floors, you look down and see the glass on the floor that the others were on shatter and a fiery explosion shoot out,
Shit,
flames searing the area nearby.
What was that? Are you all... Oh, my eardrums! Are you all alive?
Yeah, we're still here.
Oh, fuck is alive. Chemo's coughing, yes.
I really regret you guys making those explosion jokes earlier. Yeah.
Ugh. So whatever is in that elevator whoever must have done this. I don't know.
I'm still flying up to the top floor to try to intercept whoever's in that elevator.
Let's go on the lift that is over on the other side of the hall.
The stinging, panging smell of burnt fur and a little bit of skin, as well as furniture, pervades your senses, all three of you, as you quickly make your way for the nearby lift that was the metal door scorched a bit from the explosion, but still accessible considering, Glossa, you have the key card in hand. It opens as you three approach and you all get on. I'm assuming you head for the rooftop, Glossa?
Yes.
You throw the key card up against the glass and the lift begins moving. You can feel it shifting with some haste. Aesop, you continue ascending, reaching heights you've never reached before, and reaching the rooftop.
It feels great.
You now see that you are level with a number out in the distance of smaller Spelljammer vessels that seem to be shifting in and out that you've seen in the city proper. They're pretty high up at this point. You notice a open balcony level, the rain pattering down on top. You notice towards a sort of like semicircle area of the building that is where the lift is, a open area where the steel door is open and you can see the attendant inside looking a bit worried. You also notice a number of what look like Spelljammer that seem to be hovering in air and are sort of like at the far end of the balcony level here, which look to be sort of like accessibility Spelljammers. Make a perception check.
Sight? Based on sight?
Yes, please.
No!
Wow.
No! Oh, that sucks so bad. That's a 5.
You notice, you can't tell if one of the doors on one of the 3 or 4 here had just finished closing or what, but it begins to shift away from the balcony level where it was seemingly sort of like floating where it was accessible for people to get into, and begins shifting into what looks like the traffic of the other Spelljammer helms. Glosse, the rest of you, at this point, while you're looking around, Aesop, are able to reach the top floor, seeing as these lifts are pretty quick, and the doors shift open. There are still maybe 2 or 3 Spelljammers here, still attached to the side. And as you are just noticing this, watching the Spelljammer shift off into the distance, Aesop, you see the others exiting out on the top of the balcony. The water patters on your face, kind of helping the flaming damage that you guys took from the explosion before on the previous floor.
Huh. Did I happen to get, see any significant details about the Spelljammer?
It looks like one of those smaller spelljammers. You've heard it referenced before as a goblin blade. It's like a 1, maybe 2-person ship. They're very small. There's a couple others similar like that with a bit of a bluish tone to the paint, as well as the highlights from the city kind of hitting the sides of it. The tops seem to be slightly ajar, as if they could be opened.
Okay, how fast is it moving?
It's moving slower, but beginning to pick up speed, probably going like beginning to go 10, maybe 15 miles. You do notice at this point Glacé, Sun Kong, and Chemo stepping out onto the balcony.
All right, I swoop down and point towards the spelljammer that's taking off. I can't be certain, but I think the figure got on that one.
Oh. Oh no.
Are you in the mood for jacking one of the spelljammers?
Absolutely! Turn rec on! Oh, this is gonna be
Turn rec on!
Yes, turn it on!
Alright then.
There are 3 spelljammers at the end of this balcony.
Okay, as Glacé turns rec on and starts telling it that we are in a high-speed chase, or about to get in one of a evildoer who just exploded a room on the 128th floor of this building, and we're gonna go after him.
Who are you talking to? We gotta go.
I
doesn't get it. I love it.
I'm also saying this in my earpiece, so the bottom floor people can hear us. We're gonna hijack this car to get this evildoer.
Commandeer is the correct terminology. We are not stealing it. We are borrowing it.
I only know how to hotwire.
Well, that's part of commandeering, so...
One of the spelljammer ships detaches and begins to head out into the general traffic high above the city.
Oh, a different one?
No, one of the 3 that were at the balcony. There are 2 now.
Oh, fuck. Go.
Yeah.
Running.
Ship.
Chemo, Glacé, Sun Kong, Aesop clearly keeping flight in the air.
Yeah.
Glacé, which one do all 3 of you go to? You going to the same one? You trying to split up? What's the deal?
Can we get in the same one?
Can we all fit in the same one?
Glacé, you head up to one of the goblin blades and you quickly climb on top of it. It's very small and is shaped with sort of like a pointy front with 2 what sort of give you the impression of like eyes on the sides, and you notice as you peer in a construct that seems to be at the seat of the spelljammer. You crawl up the sides of the very sort of facsimile of wings at the sides onto the top deck made out of steel and pull open the steel hatch and see a lone seat inside. You hear a soft voice coming from within. "Welcome, ma'am. Please step inside and we are happy to direct you to your destination."
Go. Just tell him to follow that one.
Follow that spelljammer fast as you can.
"Yes, ma'am. We'll keep a running tab," it says. Do you step inside?
Yes.
All right. You step inside one of them, kind of keeping the hatch open to watch the others. Sun Kong, Chemo, what do you guys do?
I guess I'll get in the other one, or do you want to get into it?
It looks like there's only enough room for someone to fit inside of the spelljammer. However, there is enough of a sort of like top deck, even though it's relatively small, that another one could kind of stand on top of it.
Oh, hell
I'll
yeah.
stand on top. I will stand.
Sounds riding.
I'll drive.
I'll fly beside him.
Clatter comes with you, Glacé, and stands on the deck.
Nice.
I want to try to give bird's eye view directions to the rest of the party in the earpiece as we fly, because I know they're on the ground, but if they could start heading in the direction that we are, that would be useful.
You pop in, Chemo, hearing a similar construct mouth off to you as you quickly tell it to follow Glacé's ship, sort of all following in succession of one another. Sun Kong, you kind of keeping watch on top. they all begin to shift, following in line, although they begin to pick up speed, following the original spelljammer that the figure, or whomever, may have gotten into. Aesop, you following along, flying close by to the others. They begin to pick up some speed, heading what you would assume is like 30 feet per turn.
Oh, I can keep up with that.
And they actually begin to pull up enough to where they are within 30, 40 feet, you surmise, of each other to the front. I will shift the maps here.
Hell yeah.
And I will tell you what you see first. Glossy, Sun Kong, and Chemo, as you guys are peering out of either the hatches or the top decks, you realize you are very high in the air.
So high.
These spelljammers are luckily seem to be piloted by the constructs who, as you kind of peer over, Glossy, notice that they actually don't even have any construct legs. They're just sort of like built into the spelljammer itself and seem to be flying it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, are there any controls schemed, or they like integrated pilot?
Yeah, you notice there's some interesting glyphs that glow and shift around on the chair that they're seated in, Chemo, that kind of remind you of the seat that you guys used to pilot up out of Scourge from the ship you commandeered. Other than that, though, it seems as though there's no other controls here.
Damn.
Well, that's actually good, because that means it's going to be harder for her to get away. Or
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's...
fly.
Well, that's fair.
The bright lights of
Kick-ass
the
entrance.
city streets glimmer below all of you. You notice that the spelljammer you are tailing is a few ahead now. From where you are, Glossy, the spelljammer that Aesop pointed out is 3 ahead, with 2 other spelljammers in between the one that you are looking for. As you guys are getting your bearings straight, and as the spelljammers are all sort of fitting within a certain distance of one another in the traffic high above the city, Aesop, make a perception check.
Oh boy, guys. Let's try it again.
Oh, Aesop.
7. Thanks, Subject 22.
Aesop, you are very busily following along with the rest of the spelljammer ships, watching your friends and keeping an eye up ahead at the spelljammer at the far end who may contain the figure you are after. When, to your surprise, you notice another spelljammer ship appearing next to you.
Uh-oh.
Or somewhat close by to you.
Oh shit! It's a muscle. It's a muscle car. Oh, never.
The
Oh.
fuck?
This is going to be a great wreck episode. Are you kidding me?
Glossy, Sun Kong, and Vita, you guys now notice a number of spelljammers, all similar to the Goblin Blades, but all seemingly sort of quickly, almost seemingly more dangerously pulling up next to the other ships that you guys are currently following in line with.
That's a red construct.
You
guys.
notice standing on the tops of these are red constructs that peer your way.
Oh, God.
With that, as all of these ships, all in sync, move at a speed of 30 feet per turn, I need you guys to please roll initiative.
Oh no! Our big guns are all downstairs! We have fists up here, but our big range babies are downstairs.
It's the way it happens.
It looks like the vultures found us, everyone.
Gosh.
Good initiative rolls, though.
Yeah.
Hang on just a second. I'll add you to the initiative. This is a large map here. Give me just a second. Also, I'm going to attempt to get rid of your guys' video things here for me on my laptop, and hopefully that doesn't screw anything up on my other end. Hang on just a second.
Twitch channel deleted.
Twitch channel deleted. There we go.
Oh no, it's pretty ingenious to fly up there, Aesop.
Hey, I got these new wings. I gotta use them, right?
Right.
Gives you an advantage, buddy, yeah.
I thought I was gonna have to talk to the golem more.
Does
I probably would have flown up.
Is your bat count as a familiar, Kimo?
Yeah, it's mechanical.
Does it?
Yeah.
Does it get Does it get initiative?
Does it get its own turn? No.
Okay. Oh, this is it.
It does normally, but not for this. I don't think I need it.
Okay. Yeah, if you guys will just punch that shit in if you haven't already, I'm gonna add these creeps.
Craps.
These craps.
More like crap bots. Am I right? Am I right, guys? No.
Wow.
Should feel bad about that one.
Shut up, Luke.
Stop the bullying 2019.
We had fun here tonight, but bullying is a serious issue.
If you or someone you know is affected by bullying.
Did you guys know Luke called me a cow and Kyle called me a horse?
Oh
My God! You do not remember. You were not there when that happened.
I was there.
No, you were not.
He takes that bodyguard role seriously. He's always there.
Mm-hmm.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Knowledge checks are free. Keep that in mind. You guys are on very tall. You guys are on ships that are very high up in the air.
Oh shit.
Aesop, you're up.
Okay, so all right. So help me out here. We're moving 30 feet a turn.
So
does that
to
mean
head in
I
the direction of the ship, you're gonna have to, if you're trying to move as far as you can, you're gonna have to subtract 30 from whatever that is the speed that you're already trying to go.
Are we in dim light?
Do a high or low, because you are very high up, almost at the clearance of this city street lights.
Let's do high. Hey!
Yes, you have cleared the city streets. The overcast is enshrouding up here. It is dim light.
That's great. Aesop's wings are ensorcelled with shadowy energy. His speed is 50 feet a turn.
Oh.
So I can get Aesop to, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. And that's as far as I can get without dashing. Okay, so these robots, they're red constructs. I am gathering that they are Viper or vulture folk.
I would guess.
But like, what are they like? What kind of weapons do they have? What do they look like they're capable of?
Make like a pretty easy perception check.
Okay.
Feather dusters.
My God, 10.
The one near you, you see one in the distance that looks relatively bulky, but the one closer to you seems to be a medium-sized, kind of humanoid-looking construct, although you can clearly see, as you mentioned, all the pieces bear this sort of a hot reddish tint to them. If there is some type of faceplate or face to the creature here, you're unable to see it as it seems to be shrouded by what looks like like a purplish cloth that covers its face. In its hands, you can see what looks to be some type of what looks like either like a spear or trident-like weapon. Although at the top of it, it seems to open up into what looks like almost a container. You can see almost like a liquid inside, but beyond that, you can't see anything.
Okay then, In that case, I'm going to use a bonus action to stab my rapier, my sword cane, into my hand and cause it to become covered with all sorts of yummy elemental vapors.
Putrid shit.
Yeah, no, it's fire. It's fire.
Oh, okay.
Not putrid
Okay.
shit.
My fault.
But I am gonna dash. I'm gonna, for my action move, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35?
Okay.
And just hang out here on the nose of the ship, because if I get hit, I do not want to fall to my death.
Okay, you sort of like grab your kinku talon feet against the nose of the ship. It shifts just the tiniest bit because of the weight of the thing, and inside you can see the construct driving the ship sort of look up at you.
I give it a little salute and end my turn.
All right. Actually, I guess according to initiative, I'm sorry, that should have been Sun Kong first. You're up, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah, my fault.
I look at Chemo. You have like a portal thing. I think I've seen you use, right?
Amazing.
No, you're kind of leaking player knowledge. I've been doing like little teleports. I'm a planeswalker, which means I can find portals, but no, I can't make portals.
Well, never mind then.
Yeah.
Sun Kong, you would know this as a character. You know that using your silvered pole staff, I assume you can launch yourself at some rate.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can.
Just keep in mind, you, because of the slippery nature of these ships, may have to make some type of check to successfully land on the one ahead of you. Otherwise, you'll fall, and you're about 160 maybe stories up.
I got slow fall, you know.
Oh, okay. He's fine then, everyone. He's fine.
He's just effectively removed from combat.
You know. Sometimes
So,
you pole
how
vault,
does-
sometimes you die.
How does long jump work again? I'm sorry, I always forget. It's your strength score, right? That's long jump?
Hey, there's a really handy tool I found the other day. It's not D&D Beyond, before anybody makes that joke. It's a...
Luke!
It's D&D Beyond. It's a jump calculator. You can put in your height.
Oh,
and
is this
your
Fex
strength
Labs?
score. Yeah.
Okay.
And you're a monk, so you have Step of the Wind, I think.
So here we go. Here you go, buddy. Fex Labs. Use that sucker.
Alright, give me a second.
That's okay. This is important. You are 160 floors up in the air.
No pressure.
I use my form of the Gracious Crane to propel myself 500 moves.
And Vidi
As a-
transforms into a crane.
As a bonus action, because I possess one lock of hair out of place, my monk gets an additional 500 moves.
And Vidi, Rinkaz, you guys are on the surface level, but you would be able to hear everything that's happening.
Yeah, I'm like, there's vultures up here, not the birds, the gangsters.
I think we should jack a ride.
Yeah, there's no way I could talk that golem down there into forgetting to file that report so he doesn't get decommissioned if he just gets us a cab right now.
Look, you can try anything. But I'll say save it for next round.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do. Because I would assume you guys haven't moved too far away from the tower.
I don't know.
Sun Kong?
How much room do I have to run? Like,
You have you can see the spaces here. You have until the kind of nose of the ship.
okay.
From there you could kick off. And then you can pray to whatever god you serve.
Gravity.
It's a good god.
Newton. Actually, don't pray to Newton.
Yeah. Einstein, maybe.
I believe in you, Sun Kong. You can make that jump.
What's the total distance you can cover with a long jump, Sun Kong?
24.
Make sure you have Step of the Wind checked.
How tall are you? What's your strength score?
A 12, and I'm like 5'3".
Oh, okay. So, yeah, our jump is about the same, 24 feet.
24 is still pretty damn far.
Fuck yeah, it is.
That's
but
5 squares of airborne.
5 sounds a lot until you need 6.
It's true. Now, what's going on? What do we do? Oh! I see. He's measuring.
Oh my! Okay, so with Step of the Wind though, my jump distance doubles.
Yes. See, you gotta click that.
I've got like 50 almost.
Jesus Christ!
Wait, what?
What? Because with my Step of the Wind doubles my jump distance, and then my
On your
jumping with my quarterstaff, which is a different. Lets
yeah.
me
Oh,
double
okay.
the length of my long jump.
Yeah.
I'm doubling the double jump.
This
Can't
is
confirm
confirming.
this math. Yes, sounds right.
So my normal jump is 24.
Kill the
Double
monks
because of-
first. Got it.
Kill the monk. Always
Double
kill the monks.
Because the Step of the Wind makes it so 24, 48, and then that doubled 80. No.
Oh my God.
No, Step of the Wind gets you to 24, I think.
Yes, but then I have another ability where I can launch myself my quarterstaff,
Right.
and the text of it says it doubles the length of my long jump. So wouldn't that mean since my long jump is already doubled from Step of the Wind, wouldn't that be doubled? Is that how that
I
works?
think you get 48 there.
48 or 36, depending on how you want to count it. But yeah.
However Jason wants to count it.
I'll say that you can safely jump to the next ship with a check once you land.
Very judicious.
Okay.
We can edit all this out. It's fine.
It's okay, this is important. We don't have to run at full speed all the time. It's good for me to learn too.
Overshoots the ship, lands on the one in front of it.
Kicks the stabilizer and sends Chemo to a hurtling pit.
What do I have to roll?
Sun Kong runs to the edge of the ship, Kimo, and you watch as he digs his metal pole staff into the nose and thrusts himself through the air, speeding like a bullet to the next craft. Sun Kong, I need you to make a dexterity acrobatics check to successfully land on the next ship.
Oh, you got this. This is nothing for
You have a card, Sun Kong, please.
You do have inspiration.
Yeah, you don't even need it for this.
Shut up,
You don't
Jinxie.
have to
What's
use
wrong
it.
with you?
Why do you have to be so mad? It's just game.
So it's plus 13, so
Oh, okay.
21.
Fair enough.
Glace, you watch as Sun Kong shoots forward through the air, nearly slipping on his butt once he lands. However, he does land right next to you.
Monkey! That was amazing. We got it all wrecked.
Holy... Oh, it worked! Holy crap, it worked!
Lushy's gonna jizz his fucking pants when he sees this episode. Jesus Christ.
I'm pooping mine.
So, you know what? No, I'm not gonna dash. I'm gonna wait till next turn and then jump again. So I will finish my turn.
You're going to do it again?
He won't
Oh
use
yeah,
the speed force
I'm gonna
this
reach
turn.
this. I point to the big construct. I'm like, I'm getting to him.
Oh my god.
I fucking love Kevin Simba. Alright, Chemo, you're up.
Alright. So, is there any way to control these motherfuckers, or do we have to jump? Because...
From everything that you can tell without a check, it looks like the Spelljammer helm, which is the seat, the construct is built into it. It doesn't have any legs. It looks like its body is literally built into the flat seat of the spelljamming helm. It looks like, with some monkey work, and provided it doesn't try to smash at you with its metal hands, that you could eventually work it out of the seat. But that would take some time to do so.
One streak. If it's wouldn't dislike.
It is a construct made of all types of things and could potentially listen to you. It just all depends.
From the end of that thing, I say to it. That thing.
Oh, you're breaking up.
Yeah,
pretty
you're
bad.
breaking up.
Ram us into that thing.
Nice.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Oh boy, I need this. +0. That's a 4.
No. Make me.
A 4 total?
Yeah, 4 total.
It turns to you and says, I have reached the acceptable speed limit and cannot go any faster. I am sorry, sir. Or, ma'am.
Tell him you're pregnant. You're in labor.
I... Damn it. I have so many damn abilities that I haven't used.
You got some stuff. Maybe Glosse's got some stuff. I don't
Just
know.
need to find one more, please.
You could also have Glosse slow down so you could jump to that one as well.
That's
That might
also a
be
possibility.
First, okay. No, I think I want to fly the ship. So I want to fly the ship. So I want to get the droid out of there. I'll kick it in the face until it gets out of the way.
Well, it is fused to the spelljamming helm, so you feel like you would need some type of equipment to try and pry it off of the chair, and this may take some turns.
Okay.
But it does look possible.
I believe in you.
I'll just do the easy thing. Walk over here, and then shadowy teleport. Doop.
Nice!
Oh, there it goes.
Oh yeah, you could just do that. What are we fretting over?
Oh my goodness.
Well, because
That
I
was
wanted to
fun.
fly the ship.
After a long back and forth, with a flash of wispy dark smoke, Chemo appears on the ship along with you, Glacé, and you, Sun Kong.
Oh yeah, you can do that thing. I guess it's not the thing I thought it was. I don't understand magic.
And I guess that's it. Just walk up to the front, so I don't have to walk so far next time.
Alright, anything else, Chemo?
I guess I'll ready an action. If something tries to board us, then I'll attack it.
Nice.
Alright. You are able to see a very large looking construct on one of the spelljammers that pulled up next to you guys. It is made of the very vibrant looking red metal. And at the top, within a jar, you see, at least from what you can tell, what looks to be a brain floating in some type of liquid.
Oh my goodness.
It holds up a hand your way, a metalled claw, and you watch as, let's see here. Hang on just a second. Let's see. Appearing, almost apparating out of the air itself nearby, are 3 spectral figures. They have a translucent purplish tinge. Their hair writhes with a white. Their faces a mixture of gaunt features as well as what looks to be skullish. Their form at the waist sort of just shifts into a misty smoke. I'm just going to add all of them to the initiative.
You don't have to.
Yeah, it's got to happen. It's got to happen, but they'll go last.
Oh, this is nasty. I
Oh,
know
no.
what I want to do.
They act right after the cadaver collector. There we go.
Oh.
There we
The
go.
cadaver collector, everybody.
Oh. Guys, on
Pretty
D&D
game.
Beyond, you can look up the cadaver collector and more from what is it fucking from?
Mordecai's Tomb of Oh.
It costs $5,000 a year to subscribe to this wonderful service.
No
Just
metagaming.
Just sell your mother and your grandfather, and that'll buy you half of a subscription.
And my grandpa.
And your grandpa. The specters go next. They immediately begin flying towards you, Aesop. Two of them.
Oh, fuck!
No.
Oh, fuck!
Fuck.
You see, flying through the air straight towards you, considering you're moving towards it, hands extended out to you, a hellish-looking face shifting your way.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's like the librarian from Ghostbusters, but on crack.
I'm on cocaine.
Hi, friend.
It runs a wispy claw your way as it reaches you for
Please don't.
21 versus AC.
That's gonna hit.
Dealing 9 necrotic damage as it runs through, shifting through your tangible body. You feel a piercing pain and coldness shift through you. Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh no! I'm so fucked, y'all. Okay. Oh, well, that's not bad. That's gonna be a 17.
Okay. You are fine. You felt a chill run through your body, but you seem
like it.
okay. But you
like
still
it.
take the damage.
Yeah.
This one will shift up to you, Chemo, as it fly towards you. It is going to attempt to do the same thing. And it is going to wildly miss.
Dodge.
This one will shift, going against the current up to you, Glace.
Ew, get away from me!
And will attempt to swipe at you for 18 versus AC.
Yeah, everything's gonna hit me, by the way. I'm pretty... Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes you have a high AC, it's hard to tell.
I have to be decent in a initiative for me to even have...
Oh, okay. It runs a clawed hand through your abdomen, and you feel a piercing chill shift through your body. You take 15 necrotic damage, and please make a Constitution saving throw.
15. I will use my big bad card here. Infected Ghost
That's
Fire
a
Bite.
smart idea.
Oh, I put my dice up. First one I rolled a 19, and the next 5, so that's gonna be a 20, a modified 20.
All right. You feel a shifting coldness run through your body that kind of makes you shiver. Otherwise, you are okay besides the tinging necrotic damage that cuts through your abdomen.
Okay. My
As-
held action to attack.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
+8. +8. So is that 14?
That's going to hit.
So,
You
How
have your
does Kilo
gem
hit him?
inserted into your short sword, I believe, right?
yeah. So, 16
So it counts
damage.
as a magical weapon.
Oh, nice.
2 little quick slashes with a short sword. So.
You slash through it pretty quickly. There is a large amount of wispy air that shifts, sort of blurring its form and cutting through. There's no blood or anything, but you've clearly sort of rendered a lot of its tangibility, or what is there, back into mist. It's still there, though. Anything else, Kima?
Nope.
As we round this session out, let's see, which one is this? This is old 15 boy. Hang on. Where's old 15 boy at? Oh, he's way up there. He's gonna hold his turn. Glace, you're up.
Yes. Ugh. Okay.
Turn undead.
We'll finish this round and then we'll call it.
Good, I'm hungry.
Yeah. I'm gonna use hypnotic pattern. Hopefully, just to see what it will do to this big guy. I want to set it right. Sorry, I want to set it right here, so it's gonna hit these 2 babies.
Oh, nice.
It's all, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that robot driving the ship is considered a creature, but it will hit him in the ship as well.
Okay.
Each creature in the little blip of hypnotic patterness needs to make a wisdom saving throw. That's a DC 17.
What's the effect if they fail?
If they fail, they are... Oh no, they're constructs. Can I
That may
take
or
it
may
back?
not mean anything.
I'll allow you to take it back if you want. Also,
I
knowledge checks are free.
Yeah, can I? Okay, well, yeah, sure. Knowledge check. In my experience, has my abilities, my specialties ever worked on robo babies?
You get the sense that they're particularly resilient to charm effects.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Though you
they're
don't know for
metal.
sure without a check.
I'll check. Yeah, I'll check this brain. This guy has a brain, so.
It's true.
Nature check.
Nature.
Oh, he does have a brain, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I'll do nature.
A history check.
History. Let's do history. Fucking 1. I rolled a 1. Okay.
I won't give you a bad girl card because we're at the end of the session, but you have no idea. Maybe. There are brains.
Okay.
At least the big one.
I'll just cast heat metal on this guy.
Oh, hell yes.
And that's gonna be a... He's got 2... Well, it's concentration. Hold on, I'm sorry. Oh, I just have to choose a manufactured metal object. Such a metal weapon or suit of heavy or medium metal armor.
It is a just massive, huge metal construct.
It starts to glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact with it takes 2d8 fire damage when I cast the spell. Until the spell ends, I can use a bonus action on each of my turns to cause this damage again. If the creature is holding or wearing the object, and takes damage from it, the creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or drop the object. Blah blah blah. If it doesn't drop the object, it.
This is the body of the creature itself, so nothing drops, but you can go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. So it's gonna be 2d8. Cha. 2d8. Shablam.
There's like nothing he can do against that.
No.
He's just on fire.
So 6.
Some of your abilities may not be as advantageous, Glossy, but others clearly are. 6 overall?
Yeah.
You watch as the reddish tinge of the armor seems to sear a separate, more heated color of an orangish red. And you watch as the raindrops hit it, a certain sizzle appears.
Awesome.
And as a bonus action, I will use my unearthly beauty and gain. It's somewhere here. It's sorry, guys. Eidolon thing.
Are you on D&D Beyond?
No, it's a homebrew thing.
I added Eidolon on D&D.
Oh, you did? Well, distracting beauty it's called, and I get +5 to AC for 1 minute.
Ooh, yummy.
And I will end my turn.
Put a little icon on yourself because we're about to end.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, good idea.
I'm gonna put a pretty little. Let's do.
The construct on the ship that is south east to you guys down below seems to hold what looks to be a spear with some type of kind of roundish object at the far end of it. Aesop, you watch as the construct that is next to you steps up closer to you.
Come to daddy.
Lifts the spear in the air and smashes it into the deck of the ship.
What?
You hear
What is
the
he doing?
sound of cracking glass, and you also hear
Oh my god, Aesop.
and you watch as crawling over the side of the deck onto the front of the ship towards you is a what looks like a brain with 4 small appendages
Run!
Jason,
erratically
this is
crawling
intellect
towards
Oh
you.
my god.
My character in
This is
the
so
other campaign
fucking
just
good.
got fucked up by one of these.
So fucked up.
And that is where we will end this session.
Poetic!
Hey, stop!
Poetic?
Yeah! Your characters just don't have good luck with these kind of things.
Oh, what a session.
I'm not wiping Aesop, but
Oh.
I mean, I don't want it to devour his intelligence, but
Can you imagine dumb Aesop? I think at that point, like, Subject 22 just takes the wheel.
it gets a massive intellect boost.
But it's just like Subject 22 in Aesop's body the whole time.
Did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry that not everyone is able to participate in this fight, but I wanted to handle it as you guys took it, so we will continue this next session with you guys in a battle 160 feet in the air, or 160 floors up in the air, rather, above the city streets of Neogokyo as the ships move through the downpour.
Oh man.
Yeah.
They could try to catch up with us in a cab though, right?
That's true. That's true. At the end of this round, which is what just happened, we'll pick up with Nvidi and Rinkaz trying to convince the cyber golem back within the Felicity Tower to allow them to get a ride. We'll see how that goes.
I mean, if that doesn't work, I'm 100% on trying to help a new contracting job for some extra cash to get wheelchair ramps in, so that poor robot doesn't lose.
they're gonna make their money somehow. It's gonna be this high octane battle way up in the city skies, and then Mean Gene and Rinkaz trying to cut a deal with a brain golem down below.
I like it.
Hijinks versus high octane battles. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so real quick, did the brain come out of the robot?
There was what looked to be some type of circular, you now surmise, glass-looking like jar attached to like the neck of the spear.
Oh, weird.
And
but the robot's still active then.
Yes, the robot's still active. You get the sense that striking the spear into the deck, the force of it is what shattered the glass, allowing the creature to escape. At this point, the others would notice now that the two other constructs that are medium sized are holding similar spears pointed at your spelljammer.
This is very unfortunate.
So we'll see how you guys deal with that. These critters. Oh boy. We'll see.
Hey, I know what they do, Jason. I know really well what they do.
I'm sure it's not gonna. I'm sure.
Hey, son.
It's not gonna happen again.
Let's hope not. Holy shit.
Fucking jinxed it.
Thank you guys for playing with me tonight. And it was so fun that we got an extended session in. We usually do 9 p.m. Eastern time on, so thank you for hanging out. Thank you to my players. Thank you, Looney Loomworks, for hanging out. Thank you, Angel of Light, another TV viewer. Viewer. Thank you. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Gravity 2DX, thank you. And also thank you for the extra bits. That's really nice of you. I'll give you extra points as well. Steffi K, thank you for the 200 bits. I'll throw you some weird bits as well for donating that. Thank you. Thank you, Inquiry. Thank you, Joby Essen, Lurks, Polize, Ramsey88, Rams Live. Thank you, and thanks for the compliments. Thank you, Sambuca922, Ted, VNK, Virgo Pros, and Zane Kyber. And thank you again, Gravity 2DX. That's very nice of you. I really appreciate it. It all goes back into the game for me to buy all kinds of wacky shit. Thank you, Rams88, for following. Thank you, Sam Scuba922 for following. And let's just make sure, and Rams Live for following. That's awesome. That means that we are 4 people away from that 100 mark. So I really appreciate it. We keep on growing each session. So I hope you all had fun. We'll come back next week at 9 p.m. or normal time so that you guys can hopefully make it to that furthest out Spelljammer without either falling to your death or, as you guys were able to figure out, having your brain magically sucked out of your bodies. Oh, fuck. We'll see next time. But thank you, everybody. Hope you had fun. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, before we go,
Bye.
check out our VOD shit on Twitch. Go to our YouTube page, GOWD_mode. You can watch all the shit on there. You also get weird points just by watching our stream, so check that out. And you can also use your points to either buy inspiration for the party, for me, other cool shit on there, or you can use it on your little stream avatars there on the stream. You can check out all those details and all that shit down below on our Twitch page. And if you have more questions, just use that link to our Discord and ask in there. I'm happy to answer any of your questions, or just whisper me on Twitch, whichever. Thank you.